Hard AF Seltzer is now live in over 2,500 locations across the United States. We're now available in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, Ohio, Idaho, Illinois, Michigan, Montana, Oregon, and Texas. Go to hardafseltzer.com today, click on the store locator, enter your city or zip, and find the nearest location closest to you.
Live from our studios in Austin, Texas, this is Drinkin' Bros Fake News with Ross Patterson, Dan Hollaway, Papa G with the traffic,
How you feel?
Not good.
Yeah?
field reporter Hot Bob, and Delco Dan with sports. Welcome to Fake News.
Yeah! Welcome to Drinkin' Bros Fake News, everybody. Bringing you the realest, fakest news of the week. Every day feels like Christmas around here now that Trump's in. My God, man. I know we talked about this yesterday. I'll talk about it again, but it's just shocking how much is unraveling and how worthless our government truly is.
Yeah.
Top to bottom.
Yeah, it's not worthless. They've intentionally been robbing us.
It's really what it feels like. And now I've gone from like sadness to like intense anger at a lot of this stuff. And we'll get into it today. But before I get too angry, before I get too heated here, got some real news at the top of the show. We're doing a live watch for the Super Bowl on Sunday live on this YouTube channel here. Derek Wolf is flying in, our co-host from the NFL show on Drinkin' Bros Sports. If you're not a member of that, subscribe. It's a different feed over there, different podcast feed, but you're still getting the same hosts and the same bangers over there. He's coming in. Delco will be on the big stage over here. And then, shit, is that Ryan Mills back there? What up?
It is.
What up, homie?
On?
What are you doing in town, dude? I know you brought Hard AF Seltzer for the studio. Obviously, Daddy's getting his beak wet that night.
Absolutely. Party favors.
Yeah.
Also, want to kind of tell everybody some wins we had. So we're now being served in Speedway in
Ohio?
In Ohio, yeah, in Columbus, Ohio.
That was my jam, dude. There's like a million of those things there.
Yeah. It's going to be on 825 Worthington Woods Boulevard and a couple of places in the other states. We've got Total Wine in Del Norte, San Antonio area.
That's right,
Total Wine
right up there near the loop.
Sterling Heights, Michigan, and Rochester Hills.
So Worthington Woods, that's in Columbus. I know that.
Yes.
Yeah, my stepsister used to live out
Where's the place in Michigan?
Well, one in Michigan is going to be Sterling Heights and Rochester Hills.
there. Okay, so a lot of people have been asking about the T and then the racetracks, and I know we signed with, 200 Circle Ks as well, I think?
Yes.
When does all of that launch? Probably in the spring, I would imagine, for the tall boys?
Yeah, how it works is it'll probably be spring, cut in spring, and then summer as well. We'll be rolling well in the summer, so
Hell yeah,
spring should be
dude.
good.
Hell yeah. And then the T, where's that going?
Yep. So right now we're going to look for like gas stations and stuff like that. Also, we're going to work that into HEB and stuff. So that'll be probably about April, same time, cut-ins.
Let's go, dude. I'm amped. And if you want to invest, you can at wefunder.com/hardafseltzer. Join us. Tall boys are coming out. We just picked up 500 more stores. Wow. Just made 20,000 12 packs. That was the total. That was our highest order ever. So, like, Jesus Christ, man. That's awesome. Thanks, man, for coming, dude.
Of course.
Do you have to get back to the wife and kids, or can you stay and party with us on Sunday?
I'm going to go back to the wife and kids party there.
Smart.
Work.
Smart. You don't want to see your wife texting you blacked out next to Lázaro Lopez, who will be on the middle of the set. He'll be on a ghost bed right here in the middle of the set. That would be something she would probably leave you for, I would imagine.
I'm a little disappointed in Brian.
Why not?
Yeah.
He's a Cowboys fan.
Die hard.
You know who he's pulling
Well, he's
for?
from Dallas.
I know, but you know who he's pulling for this
Not
weekend?
the Eagles.
NFC.
Pulling for the Eagles.
Come on.
He's acting like it's the fucking SEC.
It's not.
NFC
You don't do that. You don't do that in pro football,
Go
Ryan.
against the grain. You know what I mean? That's what it means to be a Cowboys fan.
God, that's miserable. Imagine that, dude. Imagine you're as a Cowboys fan, you're so miserable. You're cheering for the Eagles. This
You're
weekend.
lucky you don't get raped.
Yeah. You're hey,
You're so close right now.
I'm going to be honest with you. Can you say, hey, real quick, just put the camera on him. Ryan, stand up. Yep, that's what a rape victim looks like.
Yeah.
Right there.
I was in the Navy, all right?
Yeah, well,
fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair
yeah.
enough.
Because it's one of the two in the Navy, right? Either doing the raping or you're getting raped, right?
We do say that about supply people. There's only one thief in the Army. Everybody else is just trying to get their shit back. And I think the Navy says that about their rectal integrity.
You know from experience?
From delivering, yes.
Yeah, you got to deliver it.
Dominance. Although O'Neill likes to fucking dominate dudes. I think he's been trying to bang Harry Sisson for a while now.
And I understand that. There was some backlash online of what he said about keeping him in the basement.
As a concubine.
Yeah. I had zero problem with that.
No. You're establishing dominance.
Have you seen Harry Sisson? Yeah, dude. That's somebody you keep in the basement.
That's a woman.
That's somebody you keep for later.
Nothing dominant about it. I don't think Rob O'Neill could take the punishment that Harry could. He's a weak man.
Isn't it weird that like that's what we're down to? We shouldn't know who that person is. That person should not exist in our lexicon at all, and yet here he is. And it's like that's the most famous Democratic name right now.
Steak and Shake.
Is that what they call him?
No.
Oh.
They just
I
announced.
thought that was his college nickname.
No. It was probably something quite a bit gayer than that. Steak and Shake just announced that all their Florida locations now will be using only beef tallow and no vegetable oil.
Really?
They're doing
that.
it all across the country. They're the first fast food place to do it.
Gotta be careful though. People are stealing valor. Like Buffalo Wild Wings has been using beef tallow.
They sure have.
But it's also like got a bunch of weird shit in it too. That's not real beef tallow. So like
What, like cum?
Yeah, what else is in it?
they just reuse it over and over and over.
Oh,
again.
Buffalo
So-
Wild Wings?
Yeah.
Because it's so popular, dude. I still fuck with Buffalo Wild Wings.
But there's so many things inside the beef tallow that also make it unhealthy that it's just like it's stolen valor.
To be clear, there's nothing in beef tallow that makes it unhealthy unless you're adding other shit.
They're adding
Correct.
other.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They're adding other
Yes.
shit.
And that's what you can't do. So like, yeah, if you want to make America healthy again, great, but you can't keep using the same shit over and over and over again. Because I just found out about the McDonald's thing too, where I guess if you go through the drive-through to order a soda, they use the same tube for all the different flavors of soda. Why? I mean, that's gross.
Efficiency,
dude.
I guess. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
ask
everyone likes capitalism. Do you got to do capitalism shit? All right.
Ask Michael Keaton. He'll know.
Gross. That's right. Well, that was a hell of a movie, by the way. That McDonald's movie was awesome.
I just want to ride for 1 second for Steak and Shake, the elite burger spot. It's my Midwestern take. Steak and
Is it
Shake.
really?
There's just not enough of them around here, to be
Yeah.
honest.
No.
Steak and Shake's so fucking good.
Five Guys is still the best burger, but Steak and Shake is really good.
Growing up as a kid in Georgia, there was so many Steak and Shakes everywhere, and now I just don't see them anywhere anymore.
Yeah, you don't see them anywhere.
No.
Maybe you will now that they're
If you
doing this.
when you're in, like when I'm back in St. Louis, there's a million of them. But down here, when I moved here, there was only one and it closed, so it's nothing here.
Okay. All right. But yeah, the Super Bowl, join us on Sunday. We're going early. Jesse and Mike Eaton did a cooking show out of Dan's place. I watched that cut last night. Super funny. So yeah, we'll be on air for like 6 hours if you want to join us. And you can bet with us or against us on mybookie.com. Use that promo code Drinkin Bros to double that first deposit all the way up to $1,000. I posted all the bets last night in Drinkin Bros Sports on Facebook, the private group, so you can see them all there. I've been on the heater of all heaters this year, and I hope to extend that on Sunday, although it would mean sacrificing Delco. So sorry about it, buddy. Sorry. Nothing I can do. I just pick winners.
Not
That's all I
worried,
do.
dude.
I know you're not.
You're gonna lose 25 grand.
I know.
Congrats.
Look at his shirt, by the way. Look at all your Eagles gear here today.
Cooper DeJean, baby.
Yeah.
Best corner in the
Is
league.
that the Cooper jersey?
It's a Cooper DeJean jersey.
We got a white cornerback. Maybe we
It's a
are back,
fucking
dude.
unicorn.
Maybe we are back, dude.
Do you want
Let's
to see
go.
a better T-shirt?
Yeah, let's see it. What do we
This
got?
is from the Bro Box this
Okay.
month. Since it's Valentine's Day, it says "Be Mine" and it's a Claymore mine.
Oh, that fucking rocks, dude. By the way, everybody asked
Real nice.
where they can get that Claymore on your desk right there.
I don't know. Some fan sent it in.
Really?
Yeah, it may have been NTK.
Really? Oh, I love that guy. It's funny.
Yeah.
But that shirt rocks. So that's in the Bro Box with the charcuterie board?
That with the little, it's basically like it's a portable cheese board kind of.
Yeah.
That's what it is, and it's got the cheese knives inside. It's
You can
fucking
take
dope.
it to everybody's houses. Go get the Bro Box on drinkingbros.com right now. Subscribe, because we are back, dude. America's back. Trump is going to the game, first sitting president to go to the Super Bowl this weekend. They finally are removing the
That's
end
shocking to
racism
me.
from the end zone.
That's shocking that no sitting president's ever gone to the Super Bowl.
It's crazy, right?
In what, 50 year? What are we on, 55?
It was already the safest
55?
event on the planet anyways.
Super Bowl licks.
Yeah.
So it's 59,
59.
actually.
God
59. Let's go, dude. And also we ended racism because that's gone now. So it's out of the end zone. So good
And
for us.
Carl's Jr. is bringing it back too.
Really?
Not racism.
Oh, I wish. Okay. What are they doing?
They're bringing back America. They've got a new commercial that's just
For the Super Bowl?
yeah.
Okay.
But it's as they do during this week. You'll see a lot of the Super Bowl commercials get released on.
I know. I don't like that, dude. Do you like the?
No.
I don't want to see the commercials in advance.
I think let them play at the Super Bowl, and then people that didn't get to watch it would go look them up on YouTube. And
Yeah,
shit like
because
that.
you're not going to see this really if you're at like a sports bar watching it, or honestly, like how much of these
This
are
is
we
when you
gonna
go
fucking
pee.
hear?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because I'll catch them the next day or whatever, and yeah, I understand. Is it that? I mean, they're not a sponsor. Is it that good that we should show it?
No, I mean it's not that good. It's just like they kind of did a new version of the old Paris Hilton one with some TikTok girl.
Oh,
I've never heard of her.
She's a babe.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's cute.
I don't know what she does. I don't know. I know she's famous. I don't know what for.
She is a lifestyle and beauty influencer
Stop
who
it.
rose to fame on TikTok and Instagram for her "Get Ready with Me" videos.
Wow.
Okay.
Is she funded by USAID?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Just checking. Just checking here.
She's funded by incels.
Good for her,
Mostly.
then. Yeah, good
This
for
isn't
her.
see. This isn't OnlyFans. I feel like it's actually chicks that make you the money on social media.
Maybe on TikTok. Yeah.
Well, YouTube as well. So I know beauty and makeup is, I think, number
It
one.
crushes.
Yeah, but if
Yes.
you get your own beauty and makeup line, that's how you become a fucking
Billionaire.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how all of them became billionaires.
Kylie
was that?
Jenner.
Rihanna, all those guys. Yeah. Yeah. And good for them. And I think A-Rod, that's why he started the men's makeup line.
Oh, did
He wants to do that as well.
Did he start a men's makeup
He sure
line?
did.
Okay, well,
he
that's
sure
gay.
did. Well, you know, a little bronzer always looks
No,
nice from time to time if you're on camera.
that's
Wink.
gay.
Yeah, no,
Wink.
his penile shaft bronzer is it's the best I've used
perfect.
by far.
Now, is there a
It's called contour shading. So, like, if you're out there, I don't need it, luckily, but if you're out there, you can make your dick look bigger with a little contour shading on that penis, you know?
Now, is there a separate bronzer for the balls, or how's that work?
Yes, because you want to go two-tone on that to make it look bigger.
Well, you want to match your skin tone, otherwise you look like you have clown makeup on.
Look, the skin
lot
tone
of-
on your scrotum has always been a different color.
I'm talking about women. There's a lot of Midwestern women who have this weird ring right here around their neck.
Yeah.
Like, hey, did you just ask somebody at Sephora? They'll tell you.
Yeah, you just got to go down underneath the collar there.
No.
don't learn-
You use
they learn the
right,
hard way.
You use the right color for your skin tone. Is what you do.
They don't know how to do that. Come on, dude.
paint swatches.
So everybody's watching fucking YouTube videos about makeup. All right, top story of the day, kids. We're unraveling this whole US AID thing. My God, man. Talked about this at the top of the show. Initially, I thought it was a fun thing that we were defunding, and then as this keeps getting peeled back layer by layer, this is just fucking. They're stealing.
There's
from us.
so much that it's going to be hard to digest everything. So we're going to do it in a couple of parts. We'll talk about your audio's on. We'll talk about like some of the stuff that's going on with some of the people and organizations, and then we'll talk about in a few moments how USAID and the CIA tried to overthrow Trump.
Yeah, because this gets real dark. So buckle up on this one, and we'll be here a while today, kids. We've all heard the stories now about USAID. It wasn't just a puppet of the CIA stealing money from taxpayers and using it to create chaos all over the world, which then required massive defense and intelligence spending to overcome that. Nope, that wasn't enough. They've also been laundering taxpayer money to private citizens and corporations in the United States for decades. Not a new thing. It's been going on for decades. We'd have to do a full show every day for weeks to kind of cover
it's too
everything
much.
that's in this, but we'll go through the hits today. So here we go. Let's start with the Rockefeller Philanthropy Advisory. They've received tens of millions, $20 million from USAID and an additional $15 million from the State Department. And what did they do, Dan?
Here's some of the stuff that falls under their umbrella. So this is the way it works. They'll have a top line organization that'll get tens of millions, sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars, and they'll funnel them down through all these little programs or departments or whatever the fuck. This is just a couple from just this one organization.
Okay.
International Fund for Public Interest Media. The International Fund for Public Interest Media is a first of its kind this is from their website, is a first of its kind multilateral initiative that aims to radically increase the amount of funding available to support, quote, ethical, fact-based journalism and boost the long-term economic resilience of independent media. In other words, propaganda.
Sure.
Government-run propaganda. They run 3 separate climate charities, Accelerate Resilience LA, and we saw how that worked out for them, obviously.
Works out great.
Just Transition Fund, which spends money to transition places all over the world from coal to solar, and that's not happening. It hasn't happened anywhere. Not once has a fucking African country all of a sudden, we're doing solar now, guys.
Yeah.
And start driving Priuses and shit. And then Global Commons Alliance, which is another one. Then they have multiple, quote, financial inclusion programs, a few WEF-style food programs with genetic modification, a litany of CRT, like critical race theory programs, not just here in America, but everywhere. Like, we're using American taxpayer dollars to convince people in other countries how bad America is. That's essentially what the fuck it's doing.
Yeah, and so Pam Bondi got confirmed as AG last night, and her first statement afterwards was about where all this money was going all over the world.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was for CRT programming and trans shit and everything else.
Here's a really good one. Mayor's Migration Council.
What is that?
That funds training programs for mayors inside the United States on how to handle their illegal immigrants in their cities.
So when you say handle, like jujitsu?
No,
or...
I mean like how to fucking steal taxpayer money and put them up in hotels.
Oh, got it. Got it. Like in New York at the Roosevelt Hotel in Midtown.
And they're like, well, our city can't, this is how a conversation might go. Our city can't afford to pay for that. It's like, oh, don't worry, USAID is sending billions of dollars to various charities that you can get money from to do this. Still taxpayer money. Let's see. We mentioned this one yesterday, but $4 billion has been earmarked for Haiti since 2010. They've received 2% of that.
Okay, so with this, by the way, I saw several Haitians last night in high-ranking official offices, whatever the fuck they call them over there. Let's face it, I've never been, and I'm never going to go to that goddamn place. Don't care. But
well, wait. Conan wore a shirt that said Haiti is already nice.
That's right. So did Bill Maher. So did Susan Sarandon. So did everybody else.
You know who paid for that?
Who?
USAID.
Shut the fuck up.
100%.
God damn, they got a guy named Barbecue who's running that joint over there. But with that, the citizens and the people who were actually elected officials there, who no longer can control the country, actually confirmed this last night. And they said, hey, we didn't see this fucking money.
It's the same thing that Zelensky just said.
Right.
So the defense spending stuff that got earmarked, you probably saw all of that. All the USAID stuff is somewhere else. Now, since 2011, this organization called the Consortium for Elections and Political Process Strengthening, CEPPS as it's called, has received $1.6 billion in USAID funding, and it's distributed to only 3 organizations, 31% to the International Foundation for Electoral Systems, 28% for the International Republican Institute, and 41% for the National Democratic Institute for International Affairs. So the Democratic Party and Republican Party have received something like $500 million to $600 million each in taxpayer funds.
Do we know who they are?
Yeah, it's the fucking Republicans and the Democrats.
No. But specifically the candidates or people?
Because
I would love to get
the party.
Them the fuck out of there as well.
It's the party itself.
Okay.
The party itself. Their website has been taken offline.
That's what I heard.
Yep. Bill Kristol has received quite a bit of money. We talked about Chelsea Clinton yesterday. I think $84 million has gone through her organizations. Former USAID Administrator Gloria Steele, who is now the COO for Cooperative for Assistance and Relief. She makes $300,000 a year, and it's 90% taxpayer funded. She's a former USAID employee.
Okay.
News agencies like Politico and New York Times have received millions of dollars, some through grants, some through subscriptions via USAID and the State Department. In fact, USAID was funding over 6,200 journalists across 707 media outlets and 279, quote, media non-governmental organizations, including 9 out of the 10 media outlets in Ukraine. 9 out of the 10 news channels in Ukraine, whether it's digital news, television news, or print media, are funded completely by the USAID.
Now, I heard Politico as well was fully funded there. And
not fully, no.
I heard they couldn't make payroll yesterday.
That's correct. So, I think something like 15% of their revenue comes from USAID.
Okay, so if you can't make payroll and all this shit has been shut down, will Politico and New York Times and the rest of these start to fall in a row?
Soros will buy it. Politico. That's my guess. Soros is going to make a move to buy that.
Alex,
the young one.
Okay. Son.
Now let's get into some of the individuals. Remember those photo ops that all these actors did with Zelensky?
Oh my God, I read one last night with Ben Stiller.
$4 million he got paid for that.
He's saying this is all I wish this was a sketch because it sounds like it's from Zoolander. Mm-hmm. He said this is Russian propaganda. Can you go to his Twitter page, Bob?
No, you can find the information on that site that we talked about.
No, I understand. But Bob, go to his Twitter because he's the only celebrity that has come out and said, I did not do this. Ben Stiller said this last night. And pop this on screen because I read this. I saw the same thing that you were just chatting about there, and he actually made a statement on it. Bob, can you read that?
Totally false, untrue. These lies are coming from Russian media. I completely self-funded my humanitarian trip to Ukraine. There was no funding from USAID and certainly no personal payments.
That's not true.
So
it's in the fucking government database. That's how it got fucking discovered. I don't know what this guy's talking about.
Right. So let's start with the Russia thing. Because this was always the go-to in the playbook, right? Mm-hmm. Everything is Russia when shit goes wrong, and they did this. In today's world, where you get paid, there's so many digital footprints of where this money goes in and out of. Mm. If you tell a fucking lie like this and you get caught, what's the ramifications for this, other than your career and everything else?
I mean, for somebody like him, I don't know. Nobody really cares what Hollywood says anymore. They can lie all they want, but. There have been a couple of people who have tried to, quote unquote, debunk this. Sean Penn, allegedly, $5 million for his appearance. Orlando Bloom was $8 million.
Wow. Why 8 for Orlando Bloom? He's not worth 8.
Angelina Jolie was 20. Now, here's the problem.
She's worth 20.
The problem is that the people that are investigating this have had issues with the exact amount that went to each person. They're basing it on some forensic accounting now. So I don't know how sure they are about the specific dollar amount, but the fact that these people got paid is indisputable, right? Indisputable. $2.49 billion went from USAID to the UNHCR 2022 budget. 2022 was the year that UNHCR paid these Hollywood celebrities for their Ukraine tours. 100%. They spent $40 million total on that. So that's where they're getting the numbers from. I think they know Bloom's was $8 million, and they're trying to recreate the rest of the actual numbers. Because it was only those 4 people.
Well, remember when the war started, because we covered this on the show, it was Sean Penn was first. Remember that, Bob? He had the little luggage that he was walking away because the war got too violent, and he was shooting the documentary over there for Hollywood, which I believe ended up getting nominated for an Oscar. I'm not sure if it won. But pull up Sean Penn in his little suitcase leaving Ukraine, because we did this story on the show right after it happened. And if you're saying that he got $8 million,
we don't know. Well, Sean Penn would have been 5, but we don't know the exact amount.
Let's take $5 million, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say that this 5 is correct.
Let's say it was $20.
Right.
I don't care.
I don't
it's
either.
Taxpayer dollars.
There he is walking away from the war because it was a little too much. He's got his little roller bag there, which is nice. Still dressed nice for an airplane, which you can respect these days, you know? Good for him because he had to get out of there. My question is, this documentary that Hollywood praised and championed and all that other shit was probably, if he wanted to say, hey, I didn't get the money, he probably could have funneled it through his production company, made this goddamn propaganda film. Yeah, exactly.
Like exactly what Oprah did.
So that's exactly what Oprah did during the DNC, where she said, I didn't get paid for this. But the check went to Harpo Productions, which is her production company.
It's the same thing that fucking Bernie Sanders has been doing for years.
Right.
With his daughter's cutout media company, which is 33% of the money he spends that he takes in goes to her company.
Mm-hmm. Bought the house in cash and then sold it to her for $1. Yes.
Yeah, which is basically tax evasion.
Now this is starting to make sense because right after that, we did a story about Ben Stiller, and I was like, of all people, why the fuck is Ben Stiller there? Unless you're Ukrainian. Like, the only guy that made sense to me was the dude from Dancing with the Stars. But
Olga Kurylenko. She's a pretty famous actress that's from Ukraine.
That would be about it. Yeah. But, like, I always wondered why the fuck Ben Stiller wanted to go meet Zelensky.
Who knows? Because they're both Jews, maybe? I don't. Maybe.
Well, no, if you're getting paid to go.
Well, certainly that. But
I take that. I take that money.
Ben Stiller is part Ukrainian.
Both comedic geniuses, yes.
One's a
Zelensky,
yeah.
I heard.
Yeah.
I heard Zelensky actually was a pretty famous comedian over there.
He played the piano with his ball sack.
His pianist, yeah.
It's pretty funny.
I think
it was pretty funny. We played that clip on the show.
And then, of course, Tropic Thunder. Like, you're never going to beat Tropic Thunder.
I love Ben Stiller as an actor.
I love Ben Stiller as an actor. He's just not the person. If he got $4 million of taxpayer money to go and do this bullshit, like, bro, he's got it.
So we're not going to know the specific amount of money that each one of these people got, but we know for an absolute certainty that they got paid, right? Bad. Now let's move on to illegal immigration and how that's been funded by USAID. Bob, you want to go ahead and click that link? If you want to, it's the Sarah is censored one, about 2/3 of the way through that story.
The which one? Sorry.
Sarah is censored. It says, and then there's the illegal immigration.
I got it. Yeah.
Now scroll down to
who is this, by the way, for the audience, for the audio listeners?
Just some
rando
conservative woman on the internet.
Okay.
Click on that one right there, the clearer version, and then skip over to the one on the right. Now hold on, put this up. So this is all the mostly Catholic charities that got money from the government.
This all says Lutheran.
Or Lutheran, excuse me, yeah. Lutheran.
Look at Bob standing up for his religion, dude. Proud of you, Bob.
This isn't even counting the Catholics who got way more money than this. Way more.
Okay.
Right? This is just the Lutherans, and it's like, what, 30 organizations? Go to the second page there, Bob. Put that back up.
It looks like it's all the same organization.
Well,
over and over again.
Payments, I mean. Yeah, it's different payments. Go to the second page. What's that bottom number there in total say? How much money did we spend bringing illegal immigrants into the country using taxpayer funding?
600 million.
Great.
Mm-hmm. That's just the Lutherans. Now double that for Catholics, because they're the ones that were in charge of the Texas border.
Correct. And now we saw them in the airports, and then when we called and everything else, they said they were funneling through that Catholic church down there. What was the name of it?
I don't remember the name off the top of my head.
God,
we talked about it about a year ago.
Yeah. But by the way, for the audience too, if you're watching video, not audio, obviously, Bob, pop that up on the screen one more time. When you go through audits like this is exactly what it looks like. All these line items are in there, and had to do it for company, had to do it for personal. There isn't really a way to hide from this money. So if you don't have a receipt for it or a good excuse for it, like, what's going to happen to these fucking people now that we know this information?
I don't know. I mean, technically, nothing they did was illegal. Right?
Actually,
this is
because our government funded it?
Yeah.
It looks like it gives the states, too, that it went to.
Oh,
Not just the states, the congressional districts. I assume this is congressional district. It's mostly for the Lutheran one, Maryland. It's a lot of Maryland.
Yeah,
a little bit of Texas.
The
Washington,
Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona are primarily controlled by the Catholic Church. So you can double that. It's like billions of dollars that were spent on this. That's on illegal immigration. So they spent billions of your taxpayer dollars to create a fucking problem for you, basically, right? To basically facilitate an invasion. $68 million to the World Economic Forum from USAID. That's great.
Oh, World COVID?
No, that's just to try to fucking inject Marxism into everything. Okay. That's what that was. $45 million for abortions in Gaza.
Wait, what? 45, how many?
$45 million for abortions
in Gaza.
There's only 3 million people that live there.
Don't they just do that for free anyways to women? They just kind of kick them down the stairs or throw them off a roof?
Yeah, if you try like doing math or something.
Okay.
It's not acceptable.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, do you remember this? And we're just hitting high notes. Do you remember that dipshit female priest?
Oh, yeah. The one for Trump the other day?
Trump?
Yeah. And Vance? JD Vance?
That's actually how all this got started. So she's been given, she and her organization have been given $53 million from USAID. $53 million to that stupid bitch.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah. That's actually how all this got started. Somebody found out she was connected to USAID somewhere, and Musk started researching it through with his little Doge guys. This is just, 10 examples maybe? There aren't dozens, not hundreds. There are thousands of these cases. We're talking about trillions with a T, trillions of dollars have been robbed from the fucking American taxpayer and spent on this stupid fucking bullshit. It's too many for us to pour through. We just can't do it right now, but hopefully these people will start doing it, or continue doing it, rather. The deep state, something the media and politicians have denied for decades, is not only real, it's stolen trillions of dollars from American taxpayers every single time you had to pinch pennies, choose between feeding yourself and paying your rent, told your kids you can't afford to do something they wanted to do. It was because these motherfuckers have been robbing us blind for our literal entire lives. Like, the very few people that are listening to the sound of my voice right now were born already when this started. It's been going on for your entire fucking life.
So, oh God, this is all mind-altering. Looking at all this, from an audit perspective, if it was our own government funding all of this shit, there is no recourse and there's no way to get this money back. And
that's not true. That's not true. So
you can defund USAID.
Yeah, a lot of the money is actually earmarked and hasn't been spent yet. Right?
Okay, good.
So it's been taxed, and what should happen now is that every single one of these should be shut down where it is right now, and anybody. A fucking nationwide tax rebate should be issued for this. Even if it's like $1 to every person, I don't care. But it's going to be more than that's trillions of dollars, right?
Yeah.
Whatever hasn't already come out of the Federal Reserve should be returned to the taxpayers fucking immediately.
That'll never happen in a million years.
We'll see.
I wish.
We'll see.
But fuck, dude. How much do you think is left over?
I think hundreds of billions of dollars.
That's what I think.
Are probably sitting in those cars. I think if I'm not mistaken, there's something like 900 billion, 950 billion sitting in Federal Reserve right now.
So we could switch that over to the Sovereign Wealth Fund if we wanted to.
That is the plan. Yes, is to move the Federal Reserve stockpile into the Sovereign Wealth Fund.
That would be great.
Yep.
And then that gives you a nice little kitty there to get started.
The first thing we should do is buy back the Panama Canal. All of it. So updated news on that. America now can use the Panama Canal for free into perpetuity, right? So that's one thing that saves us a couple $100 million a year, I think. But we should buy it back. And people are like, well, we gave it to them. We should just take it back. Maybe. We're rich, though, right?
Yeah.
Let's be a good fucking partner to a country because they still have to help maintain it. Let's be a good partner to them, inject some capital into their into their country down there, so they can build up infrastructure and be a safe place for us to drive our fucking boats through.
And immigration, immigration comes up through there as well. Yeah. So the more we build them up, then the less.
And just delay the payment. So we'll pay you $100 million a year for the next however long, but you've got to do this. You got to fucking stop the flow of immigration from Central America coming northbound, blah, 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 right? Make it contended.
It's a win-win.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bump.
We usually pay for our territory. With money.
Yeah, we always have.
Including, this is true.
The Louisiana Purchase.
Even Texas.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So Texas, but people don't realize this. We actually, after we beat Mexico in the war, we financially compensated them for the territory we were going to take anyway.
We were
in
also
pesos?
very lenient.
No, I think it was in tacos and sombreros.
Okay, good. I just wanted something kind of, Mexican themed.
Yeah, do we have the music yet?
There it is. You gonna blast this fool or what, Holmes?
Well,
I want to be paid in pesos.
We've had this music.
Yeah, this one we've had.
We've had this one. We've had this one, but it's still great. I've never gotten sick of it all these years.
I don't get sick of it when...
I love mariachi bands. We had one at Christmas. They were fucking awesome.
We're going to have them again for something.
God, they were good.
Not the Super Bowl. This is just going to be us here.
Really enjoyed those guys, by the way, in real life. We ended up hanging out, getting boozing with those guys. Yeah! What was his name? I was screaming at him all night. I was screaming at the guy all night. Philip, I think his name was.
Philip.
Philip. God, that was great.
Philip's a huge metalhead, too, which is hilarious.
I know.
He's a Mexican dude from San Antonio that's a huge metalhead and plays in a mariachi band.
Those guys from the Christmas special were so fucking cool in real life.
Yeah.
And we bought all their drinks, too.
Yeah, we had a good time with those
And
dudes.
he goes, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, just have you whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, they fucking rock, dude. What a crazy fucking story, man.
It gets crazier.
Does it? All right, well, what we'll do is sponsor read real quick, and then we'll get to the rest of it. GhostBed.com/Drinkin Bros is our title sponsor.
Oh, wait. Also, USAID from...
They didn't pay for GhostBed, did they?
No.
Thank God.
From 2014 until 2016, funded this little oil and gas firm in Ukraine, Burisma.
Oh, did they really?
Yep.
You don't say.
That's one that's on the radar now that Doge is getting into. They're investigating how much money went from American taxpayers to Burisma to Hunter Biden, then back to Joe Biden.
You know what's funny? Because we go back to yesterday's show with the Zelensky thing. And I said, you know what? He might be telling the truth in that interview.
He definitely is.
That he didn't get that money.
No.
Because after I saw the Haiti guys last night, I was like, wait a minute.
Now, there's like Nigerian people posting stuff on TikTok and Twitter like, hey, yeah, we never got
They never got the money either?
It's like, oh, shit, America.
Yeah. Good old America. Speaking of America, we got some mattresses that are made in the good old US of A. GoSped.com/Drinkin Bros. 50% off for Valentine's Day, 8 days away. Look, if you're out there boning, making love to your lady, or man, whatever, man, I'm not going to fucking kink shame you, okay? Do it in a GoSped from GoSped.com/Drinkin Bros. If you're really trying to show them you love them, but also have sex with them later in the night for Valentine's Day.
In whatever hole you guys collectively decide to.
Yes,
right?
It's a free country.
We're not here to kink shame. We're actually here, if anything, to amplify your pleasure.
Yes, there's a lot of orifices on us. You can go mouth, you can go bottom, you can go fronts, go nose, maybe ears, whatever you want to do.
You can put your feet together.
Yeah, you sure can.
Like that, oil them up.
Or elbows. Armpits, that's a fetish.
Whatever you want to do.
Whatever you want to do, we don't care. But if you're doing the stuff that's, in the dirtier holes, get a mattress protector from GoSped.com/Drinkin Bros, okay? It's a white mattress, and white mattresses matter. Got to keep them clean. So you might want to order that too if you guys are getting loose on Valentine's Day. I recommend the bundle package. That's my favorite. So the 50% off, you get the adjustable base, the mattress, the pillows, the sheets. All those are combined. Lasro Lopez will be on one of the bundle packages on Sunday night here watching the game. Because it's important to see somebody relax on one of these goddamn things and just watch a fucking Super Bowl.
Especially a Mexican.
Yes.
They work so hard. It'll be nice to see him take a break for a change.
He does work hard. And he works nights too, by the way, which is brutal.
Yeah. It takes 15 years off your life.
That's what I think.
No, that's true.
Is it really? I told him, man. He's like, I love it. I don't give a shit. He works well with his homies over there. So look, man, if you're out there and you're looking for that special gift for that special someone in your life, head on over to GoSped.com/Drinkin Bros. Every item you put in the cart, even if it's just pillows or sheets, that's all fine. Getting 50% off with the promo code Drinkin Bros at checkout. Plus at checkout, you're seeing a little box to check that says, hey, it's like stretch this out over 36 months, 3 years, as long as you have decent credit. Yes, I would. If you do it with the bundle package, you're looking at $45 a month, and it's well worth it, dude. I can promise you that. I've had it for, 7 years now at this point. I love it. Adjustable base, though, is new. I think I only had that for 5 years, and I can't go back. Go to GoSped.com/Drinkin Bros today. All right, next up is still a continuation of the USAID. What's up, Care Bear?
I gotta interrupt the show very briefly.
Oh, boy.
Because it is Dan's birthday, for those of you that don't know.
Fuck you. Is today February 6th?
It is.
I didn't know. God damn it. Round of applause, Delco. Jesus Christ, dude.
And I got Dan
there we go.
A little special gift here. So coming to the stage.
What do we got?
Hey, she's an Aquarius, and she is here to give Dan a birthday wish.
Is this real? That's going on right now in the studio?
This is really it.
Might go that way. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Hey, and this
she goes, I need you to move the gun for a second.
I am simply the messenger here. Somebody else is paying and setting this up.
What is going on here, by the way? I have no idea what's going on.
This is a strippergram, Ross.
It's not.
Is it really?
That's not happening, guys. Under no circumstances that happening.
We are on YouTube today. We can't do it.
We're on YouTube, and she had to wear shorts. I was smart about how I did this. She's
All
getting
set.
paid
Thank
either
you.
way, though.
Yeah, you're already paid.
Okay.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. I don't know who thought that was going to go off.
Well, you would be shocked, but it's someone very close to you.
Is it really?
Yes.
Who is it? I don't know anything about this, by the way.
A friend of the show.
A friend of the show.
A lady friend of the show.
Why are you being cagey? Just say it.
Can we say her name?
Yeah, it was Candace.
Oh.
Never.
Shut the fuck up. Is that true?
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I kind of love it. What's your name? Yeah, give her the microphone at least. You don't have to. You don't. We're on YouTube today, so you can't strip. But I've.
My dad goes on YouTube, so. Yeah. Hi, I'm Kaylee. Nice to see you.
Hi, Kaylee. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you for your service, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great stuff. Really love it here. So welcoming.
We're happy to have you.
Yeah, thanks. I can tell. I was hoping he'd have 2 guns in his pants when I was finished, but.
Yeah. Holy shit. So, okay. Because I literally know nothing about this. First of all, I don't even know what fucking day it is, so I apologize. Happy birthday.
Oh, yeah, happy birthday. Mine's tomorrow. So
Thanks.
Is it really?
There you go.
Happy birthday. Okay, so who ordered you? Is that real? Was Candace?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
actually like a Russian online website. I was a
That you work
mail-in.
for?
Yeah, mail in.
Stop it.
Yeah.
What? So, are you from Ukraine?
No,
Oh, I was like, shit. Did USAID fund this whole thing?
probably.
Yeah,
So,
probably.
Daddy Trump?
God damn, that's really fun. Yeah, he's back. He's back. So, do you live here? How does
do.
that work? I've never gotten
I
a
do,
strippogram.
yeah.
Forgive me.
Yeah.
Oh, you do? You live here in Austin. And so, how would one receive your services and what you do here?
Well, you just know Gary. He knows all the whores.
That's
Yeah.
so funny.
You just call Gary.
Is that true?
Yes.
This is all real here? I know the show is called Fake News, but like even I'm caught off guard today, and I love it. Happy birthday. So Candace ordered her. I didn't know. Where was she hiding at? She was hiding behind the set the whole time?
Yeah, we had her hiding in the back.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
Okay. So if and somebody paid for you, correct?
Well, not yet. I'm still waiting for that to drop, but yeah.
Oh,
No, I'm good for the money. I'm good for the money.
sure. It's
Well,
coming.
he is. He's going to get the checkbook out the bag.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
expect it
say,
to
and then that's great, dude. Because I don't want you to go, on you like. Sorry,
wanna
unused is
use
the
you.
bad word, but maybe Gare Bear back there. That'd be a fun thing for him. He's been working hard. The documentary is up to like fucking 90,000 views. So yeah, dude, go ahead. Have you guys had sex before? I feel
No.
like you have.
No.
No.
Why
Only
is
in
that
his
a
dreams,
no
though, he's
from
told
Gary?
me.
What's that?
What?
That's a no?
Oh, no. Everything's fine.
Stop it. You guys have had sex before.
So, hey, how about
Don't
we
insult
we
me.
all wish Dan
Don't
a big
insult me
happy
anymore.
birthday. Let's sing him happy birthday.
Yes, we got some listeners in the studio. We'll all sing happy birthday. Shit, I feel embarrassed that I didn't know. You ready?
Yep.
Play the Indian music. Is that new? Let's play the Indian music for it, right? Or the Mexican one. Yeah, the one. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, sing it with me, though.
All right, ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear D'Anthony. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, play the applause. Play the applause.
Moving along.
I'm embarrassed for 2 reasons. First of all, happy birthday. I didn't even know what date it was, so forgive me. I saw you earlier today. I should have wished you a happy birthday.
Oh, it's not that big a deal.
God damn it, dude. No, now I feel like shit.
No, it's a big deal to me.
It is.
Look,
Yeah.
I've never done anything like this for anybody I've ever worked for.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
And yeah, we love you too, Gare Bear.
Thanks.
We appreciate it. And tell Candace thank you.
Yeah,
and
I will.
If you guys have to have your own birthday in the back, feel free.
All right,
this
well,
is a free country.
hey.
America's back. You know what I'm saying?
USA!
USA.
Back to you guys.
And God bless her. What's her name? Let's shout out her Instagram or something. What's her name?
What's your Instagram?
It's Kaylee Funk.
It's Kaylee Funk.
It's Kaylee Funk. Okay.
And I got the best of the best here. She used to do the work with Kill Tony on that show.
No way.
And some other stuff. Yeah, I used to produce a podcast with her too. She's good. She's good people.
She's really funny. You're actually really funny, Kaylee.
And I'm a clean whore, too.
And you're a clean whore. You did not say I'm a clean whore.
She's a clean whore, and
How-
also,
what's the definition of a clean whore? How do we know that? Is there tests?
yeah, you got it. It's a test thing.
Is it really?
Did you just throw that at me, Dan?
Yeah, I think
That
you did.
hit me directly in the top of the head. That was a
Yeah.
good shot.
Yeah, I
nice
know
shot.
it was. Gary, it's kind of what I do.
Holy shit! I love you guys. That's all I got for today,
A
boys.
clean whore. Is that what we're doing now? Is it just a test?
Should I mean, it's Dan. I wanted to get him a clean one. He's
Yeah.
a goddamn hero.
It sure is. It sure is. That's great. That's great. Happy birthday. I don't think I've seen you embarrassed on this show.
I'm not. Annoyed, if anything.
I'm embarrassed that I didn't know it was your birthday. I'm embarrassed I didn't know it was February. I forgot my other buddy's birthday too on February 4th. Happy birthday, Dylan. I'm sorry. I fucked up yours too. I remember sending him the text and I was just like, oh shit, is it February? I didn't even know that.
He said go that way.
Go that way. This episode will be replayed a million times over. And we're live, so it's not like we can go anywhere either.
Better than the Chiefs fan.
Yo. Well,
Yeah.
she's become a hero in the chats there.
A hero for whom?
For
whom,
Drinkin' Bros. For Drinkin' Bros. She's a hero for Drinkin' Bros.
In what regard?
She went after Delco and Bob's cancer, you know, and was very polite throughout the rest of the day. Also very wasted on Hard AF Seltzer.
Yeah.
Next up, we're gonna genuinely shocked by everything that just went on. Next up, we're back with the USAID and how the CIA funded the Trump impeachment. Which one? This story is from Michael Schellenberger.
The original.
So he was impeached twice. What was the first impeachment for?
The Russia collusion hoax.
Got it.
So
okay.
USAID's defenders say it's about charity and development in poor nations. Well, it's not. About $40 billion driver regime change abroad. We've talked about some of the regimes. Now evidence suggests that, along with the CIA, they were behind the 2019 impeachment of Trump. Just play the fucking video.
Okay.
You can watch it.
Yeah, go to the Schellenberger one down there.
Just play the whole
Pump
thing
it
and we'll
up.
watch that and then we'll respond to that.
Okay. Play.
It's a
Scroll
photo.
down to the second one.
All right, there we go.
All
All right.
There you go.
A little bit of basic human intelligence.
Schellenberger for Public. The House of Representatives impeached President Donald Trump in December 2019 after a White House whistleblower went public with evidence that Trump had abused his powers by withholding military aid to Ukraine in order to dig up dirt on his rival Joe Biden. In the complaint, the whistleblower claimed to have heard from White House staff that Trump had, on a phone call, directed Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to work with his personal attorney at the time, Rudy Giuliani, to investigate Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. The whistleblower who triggered the impeachment was a CIA analyst who was first brought into the White House by the Obama administration. Reporting by Dropsite News last year revealed that the CIA analyst had relied on reporting by a supposedly independent investigative news organization called the Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project, or the OCCRP, which appears to have effectively operated as an arm of the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, which President Trump has just shut down. The CIA whistleblower complaint cited a long report by OCCRP 4 times. The OCCRP report alleged that 2 Soviet-born Florida businessmen were key hidden actors behind a plan by Trump to investigate the Bidens. Those 2 businessmen connected Giuliani to 2 former Ukrainian prosecutors, according to OCCRP. The OCCRP story was crucial to the House Democrats' impeachment claim, which is that Trump dispatched Giuliani as part of a coordinated effort to pressure a foreign country to interfere in the 2020 presidential election, which is why the whistleblower cited it 4 separate times. In a 2024 documentary that the German television broadcaster NDR made about OCCRP's dependence on the U.S. government, a USAID official confirmed that USAID approves OCCRP's annual work plan and approves of new hires of key personnel. NDR had initiated and carried out the investigation with a French investigative news organization called Mediapart, an Italian news group called Il Fatto Quotidiano, Reporters United in Greece, and Dropsite News in the United States. However, according to a Mediapart story published the same day as the Dropsite News article, NDR censored the broadcast after U.S. journalist Drew Sullivan, the co-founder and head of OCCRP, placed pressure on the NDR management and made false accusations against the broadcaster's own journalists who had been involved in the project. On December 16th, Dropsite's Ryan Grimm posted a link on X to the 26-minute-long documentary. NDR, Germany's public broadcaster, is facing a censorship scandal, he wrote, and it's defended itself by saying it never killed a news report about OCCRP and its State Department funding because no report was ever produced to kill. That was absurd, wrote Grimm, and dozens, maybe hundreds of journalists knew it to be false, and now, of course, someone has leaked it. The drop site journalistic collaboration revealed that OCCRP's original funding came from the Bureau of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs of the United States State Department. And it quotes a USAID official who says,
Andrew was just nervous about being linked with law enforcement. Yeah.
But why?
Well, because sources maybe, right? If people that are going to give you information think, oh, you're just an arm of, you're just a cop, right? I mean, maybe it's a problem. Or and other governments, say you're trying to get into a country and do something, and then the government says, what are you, law enforcement or not, right? Like, there's a need that, the separation, the independence is important. Because if you lose that, you lose your sense of like, it's a value. Your reputation is incredibly important.
OCCRP does not operate like a normal investigative journalism organization in that its goals appear to include interfering in foreign political matters, including foreign elections, that are aimed at regime change. Sullivan told NDR,
"We've probably been responsible for about 5 or 6 countries changing over from one government to another government. Because and getting, people, prime ministers indicted or thrown out."
As such, it appears that the CIA, USAID, and OCCRP were all involved in the impeachment of President Trump in ways similar to the regime change operations that all 3 organizations engage in abroad. The difference here is that it is highly illegal and even treasonous for CIA, USAID, and its contractors and intermediaries, often called cutouts, to interfere in U.S. politics in this way. In response to questions that we sent to OCCRP, it threatened to file a lawsuit against us. "The premise of your article is factually false and defamatory," wrote Miranda Petrusik, the editor-in-chief of OCCRP, in an email to us. The claim by Dropsite News and partner media that USAID has control over editorial appointments has been disproven, she wrote, and we suggest you read our response to that. But neither OCCRP nor anyone else has disproved Dropsite's allegations, and Dropsite stands by them. And the evidence does not support OCCRP's claim of journalistic independence. If you're not already a subscriber to Public,
all right, you can cut it here. So Schellenberger's always a bright, fascinating guy. Boy, man, trying to unpack all of this. So is this why they didn't want him to have a second term, was because they knew he was going to do exactly the shit that he's doing now by dismantling all these agencies and everything else?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the faucet, right? It's the military-industrial complex. It's the CIA and State Department that have been tinkering on foreign governments, overthrowing them for years. And then just what I said in the first story about creating chaos and then spending American taxpayer dollars to fund it. Now, in this case, they saw Trump. This is what I've said for years on this show, is that Trump was a fucking threat to the deep state, and that's why they hate him. He was never racist. He was never this. He was never fascist. None of this shit. He was just a threat to turning this fucking money faucet off. And now we have incontrovertible proof that people inside the Central Intelligence Agency, the State Department, and USAID specifically were all involved in trying to launch a coup in our country. And they all have to be imprisoned and then executed for this. They have to die.
Because it's treason.
Yes.
So with this, because now let's take the story we did at the top and then this one. With everything we know and this going on all around the world, I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked you on Monday. How does Trump stay alive? There's just too much money and too many people involved.
Well, it's too late now. Killing him now would martyr him because we've all seen evidence.
He'd become like a Tupac figure?
It would be one thing if this happened 6 months ago and we hadn't seen all this documentation yet. Mm-hmm. And it would still just be, you know, but you don't know, right? Now we know, and there's no going back.
But you've got the left out here, because I've been watching the other side of this, all these people that are accused saying, no, USAID helped me out. And it's who they say they get the political start today, right before we went on air?
What?
There was a senator that posted that said, "Hey."
Oh, Liz Cheney.
Yes.
Congress.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she's like, I'm proud to have gotten my start at USAID. I'm like, all right, cool. Hold on to that for a couple of days and see how that fucking looks in a week or so.
Right. So why would you say that? And then why would you have all these Democrats out in the streets going, no, we need this. You don't understand how much this helps everybody else. I don't know if you saw The View, probably not. The other day, the only reason I tuned in was Bill Gates was on. Bill Gates was the guest. He specifically talked about USAID on that show. Now, typical Bill Gates bullshit. He goes, oh, it's, what people don't understand, the U.S. taxpayers, it's only less than 1% of the taxpayers' money is what is being spent on USAID.
We spend $24 trillion a year. So 1% of that is a lot of fucking money.
Right.
That's $250 billion, motherfucker.
And that's how he's trying to paint this as this is going on. But
I mean, imagine somebody pushing you down, grabbing your wallet, and only taking 1% of your money. And it's like, hey, dude, relax.
It's just
I only took 1%.
It's just 1% of your money. But yeah, I'm watching all these people go out and say, hey, we didn't elect Elon. And we didn't, we didn't vote for this, whatever. Yeah, we did. We voted for all these people. It wasn't just Trump that I voted for. I voted for everything that is happening right now. But if you're Bill Gates and everybody else, and all this money is going to get turned off for you, you're going to go out and shill on these other shows. What I can't figure out is why you would allow them to do it right now. Because we're just in the beginning stages.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just don't think they can stop it now. Or maybe they didn't think he would actually do it. It's hard to say.
Trump?
Yeah. Like maybe these guys didn't think that Trump would actually go through with all this, because if you remember his first term, this is kind of what we expected, and it didn't happen, right?
Right. Well, I didn't know it was this bad. I'm going to be honest with you. So let's go back to 2016. Why I voted for Trump. First of all, I voted for him because he was an outsider. I didn't like Obama. I didn't like Bush. And I was like, all right, great. Let's see what a non-politician could actually do. And you can go back, because we were already on the air then in 2015. And I said this from the very get-go. I just want to see what would happen if a non-politician got in there, and if they could either fuck up the country, run the country, make it better, make it worse. What actually happens, and what does our government do for us?
Yeah.
And we saw it. My chief concerns, though, in 2016, because I did not know about any of this shit, me personally, maybe you did in 2016, but I did not know, was immigration. That was kind of first and foremost that was going on there. Better rates, hopefully better health care, because of all that other shit with Obamacare and everything else. Having been on it that year of that election and all that shit, wasn't great. I wasn't happy with the racial division that was kind of being started and all this shit, because that's really when the DEI and everything started to pick up.
Yeah.
Was during that administration. And then with Bush, I was unhappy with the fucking war. Like the fake WMD shit and everything else. And I was like, man, is there somebody else who could do this? Now, in 2016, I don't think he really knew how to govern or how bad it was. He does now, because he's had the 4 years off. We're in barely week 2 of this administration, and we've got all this shit, and then you're seeing all these people scrambling. My question to you is, with Bill Gates on The View, and we're going to play this clip that I just sent to Bob, are they in on it too? Like, is The View in on it? Is the networks in on it? Because this was on ABC. Do they know?
I mean, I think it's more manufactured consent style. Like, that's their side, and whatever talking points their side puts out, they're going to repeat it.
But for somebody as big and powerful as Bill Gates, you know what you're getting into, because they didn't ask him about Epstein during this interview. So yeah, go ahead and play this clip. This is where he talks about USAID.
Just play the audio. Then I'll put the video up. Because I think we'll get dinged for that.
You also called Elon Musk's political influence abroad.
No, we won't actually.
Quote,
we're good.
Insane, along with another word we can't repeat here. But what's your take on his political access and influence here in America right now?
Well, Elon, his private sector work, has been very innovative, really fantastic. A lot of private sector people, when they get into government, they don't take the time necessarily to see what the good work is or why it's structured the way it is. So I'm a little worried, particularly with this USAID stuff. My foundation partners with USAID on nutrition and getting vaccines out. And, there's incredible people. They're not actually worms that work there. So, hopefully we'll get some of that work back in shape. In fact, if we don't, you could have literally millions of deaths. So, with aid, people think, wow, how much do we give to these countries? As you said, it's less than 1%. People think it's 5%, and it should be 2%, but it's actually under 1%.
Yeah. Wow, and still saving lives. Well,
I don't give a fuck about saving lives.
I don't either.
Anywhere but here.
Nope.
Dude.
I don't either, but didn't each and every one of them seem like they had a pre-planned talking point to ask him about?
I'm sure it was scripted, yeah.
It all seems scripted to me.
The bad news for them and everyone like them is that Rubio just fired everybody at USAID. There was 14,000 people working there. Now there's 294 people working there.
Right now?
Mm-hmm.
Currently? Okay.
As of right now.
Oh, this just went through right now?
Yep.
Pop that up. Did he put a tweet? They usually put a tweet out about it.
I just saw it on Twitter, but yeah, it just happened.
Marco Rubio is trending right now. Let's see if we can pull this up here. Breaking Secretary, it's 18 minutes. Secretary of State Marco Rubio just deemed that only 294 USAID staffers are necessary out of the 14,000. The entire agency will be immediately reduced from 14,000 to 294. This has to be the biggest mass firing yet in government. Yeah, and I think we're just beginning, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so the Dems will try to use the court system in whatever way they can, from the Federal Employees Union to trying to block Elon specifically from doing stuff, even though I don't think those are going to hold up, because what people don't understand about Doge is that it's not a new organization. It's a organization that already existed that's been renamed, that he's been made administrator of, right? Which doesn't require confirmation or any of that shit. So he's well within his rights to do most of this, like not most, but all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like I don't, the legal challenges aren't going to stand up to it. It might delay it a little bit, but all these fucking people are going away. 60,000 people have now resigned and taken the fucking parachute.
It says from, was that the...
They have to all decide by the end of today, by
Okay.
5 p.m., so coming up like in an hour, or I guess in 6 minutes. And we'll know probably tomorrow or maybe Monday what the total amount of people who fucking actually took the, what do you call it? The
severance package?
Severance package, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see how many that is, but there's going to be a lot of mass firings as well.
And then Rubio's comment as of 5 minutes ago says, because he went down to El Salvador to meet with the president, went to his house and talked about the prisoner swap, about sending our worst criminals here, illegal immigrants, MS-13 gang members, all that other stuff, and for the U.S. to pay a fee on that. That way it helps both countries. I agree with that. I think that would be fucking awesome. And then the other thing that he just posted right now was in Guatemala, because he's continuing on. He says it's important to continue on to talk to the rest of these countries regarding immigration. In Guatemala, I underscored the kind of foreign aid America wants to be involved in. These programs align with our foreign policy and national interest to address drug trafficking and illegal immigration. Ultimately, they will make us safer, stronger, and more prosperous. Well, he certainly has the budget now.
Yep.
So he's got the money to work with these other countries and actually help with these problems. And holy shit, that's pretty fucking wild there. Wow. All right, there's going to be some unhappy people down there. Fuck, that's wild. Next up, ad-wise, we got mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros doubles that first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Get off the couch and get into the action today with mybookie.com. On the sports show yesterday, on the NFL Super Bowl extravaganza prediction show, we dropped about 100 of our bets over there on mybookie.com, and the selections and everything we made. And Drinkin Bros Sports on Facebook, which is a private group just because of talking shit. And we can also post our bet slips over there. I posted all of these bets, so I'll kind of read them off to you here. Let's see. So I took Kansas City Chiefs, money line. I got the Chiefs beating the Eagles on Sunday. However, I think it is going to be a one-score game, which means I also took the teaser for my bookie. Now you can do 6 points, 6.5, or 7 points. And I jacked that up. Also, even though I think Kansas City is going to win, I don't think they're going to win by more than a touchdown. Therefore, I jacked up the Eagles to plus 7.5. And then I took that under down to 42. I think it's going to be a 24-21 game or potentially a 27-24 game. Which would in fact hit the over for me because the original over is 49 in that game. And let's face it, we got two great defenses, so it could be low scoring. Don't want to take the risk, but I hate betting on unders, so that way I dropped it down. As far as prop bets go, you can bet on Super Bowl MVPs. I sprinkled Travis Kelce. I also sprinkled him for first touchdown too, as well. That pays off. It's 15-1. And then I also sprinkled, Bob, we were going with long shots in yesterday's show. I took, just to do it as a long shot, because I'm up, I think, $47,000 on the year. DeAndre Hopkins for MVP, $200 paid off at $40,000. It'd be awesome.
I'm telling you, sprinkled defensive players.
I know. And so he can't win every year, right?
Yes, he can.
He's won. Pat Mahomes has won 3 Super Bowls. He's been named MVP all 3 times.
Do you know how many Tom Brady got?
How many?
4 out of 6.
So that's bound to happen.
What about Jordan?
6 out of 6.
Different 6 out of 6 for Jordan?
Yeah. Kobe only got 2 because he's a bitch.
He also Shaq was on. Yeah.
He had
There's a guy named
Shaquille.
Shaquille on that team too, who's doing all right. But yeah, so tons to bet on. And then let's say you're watching the show with us from home on YouTube. You don't want to hear the announcers and all that shit. The Taylor Swift prop bets we did yesterday as well. No, ladies, I don't think Travis Kelce is going to propose on the field. That is one of the options after he wins, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I wish it was.
I do too. It'd be fucking awesome. Talking about a moment for the world. You know what Delco said? Because this is one of the bets. You can bet on Kendrick Lamar and if he's going to have a guest performers. Delco said on Ross Patterson Revolution this morning that it would be awesome if Drake showed up for one of the songs.
I don't think awesome. It would just happen.
Mend the beef there. I don't either. I think Drake should live in his own fucking feces that he's created for himself. So I'm good. I don't want to see Drake there.
Yeah, Kendrick can keep hitting the same fucking drum over and over again.
5 Grammys you won on Sunday night, my man.
Yeah.
Best in the biz right now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only thing Drake could really do is show up with a suit that measured his own height. Mm-hmm. And then stand next to, because he's 5'3".
He could just beat the fuck out of Kendrick, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Kendrick would kill Drake.
That's just not
Kendrick's actually from Compton, and Drake is from Brampton, Ontario, my friend.
Drake
I don't
trains.
care how big they are. What does he train on? Chugging hog?
He said boxing.
Wheeling around in a fucking wheelchair? Get out of here.
How many street fights, end up in real boxing? 1. You get 1 punch, and then you go to the ground after that. Every fucking fight I've ever been in my entire life. So boxing's not going to really help you there. Unless you land it clean.
Did you fight a trained boxer?
You land it clean. Yes, I did. And fuck, man. You can keep him at bay. That was a bet we had, by the way, in college. Don't recommend that at all. What I did was super illegal, and I got the fucking goddamn ties on the glove raked across my face in that as I took him to the fucking ground. But, like, Jesus Christ, man. I don't recommend it either way. Yeah. But no, Drake's not doing anything. There's no way. I don't think he's showing up in the Super Bowl either. I wouldn't bet on that.
They should fuck Kendrick's wife.
Now that's a possibility. That's a possibility. If you really want to get back at somebody, that's the way to go there. You love Drake for some reason.
Drake's the man.
God, you grew up with him, right? That's your dude.
Yeah.
Gross.
He makes nothing but hits.
Gross. Not anymore. When's the last hit he had? 10 years ago?
He's got plenty of hits.
He sure doesn't.
No, that was the last one. Was that Tootsie Slide shit from?
Oh God, I hated that song.
Yeah, but it was like fucking huge.
I know,
but mostly because I mean he's a smart guy.
He is.
Let's not just.
I think he was the first one to master TikTok though.
Yeah, well,
I'll give Drake that.
Not just TikTok, but also that song and that one and a couple of his other ones made it into that fucking what's that video game? Fortnite. Yeah,
Yep.
you could buy it. You could buy the dance for your little gay character on Fortnite.
Drake is playing the long game. Okay.
When you say playing the long game, do you mean he's dating 14-year-olds now so he can fucking...
No, dude, he grooms.
Oh, excuse me.
He doesn't fuck 14-years. He grooms them and then waits till they're 19.
I didn't mean to make him sound like a bad guy.
In 10 years, a Drake hologram is going to slide into Kendrick Lamar's daughter's DM.
Yeah, the AI version of him.
3 years after that, so she's 5 now.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if you're Kendrick Lamar, the only way you can stop that is by waiting for Drake's daughter to get older older and bang her, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Him and Leo DiCaprio, they scout.
Yeah, they do. I'll say this, though. Leo doesn't go under 18. He never has. So
either does Drake.
No, Leo goes out into the fucking Adriatic in the middle of nowhere and buys Eastern European prostitutes.
Yes. That are of legal age.
From a professional service.
Yeah, that are of legal age.
Yeah. He's not trying to get in trouble. He's trying to get HIV.
It was Millie Bobby Brown, right? Wasn't that the big one for Drake?
Wow, what a glow up for her. She's gorgeous.
I think she
we knew. I think we all knew that.
I had no idea. I mean, the only time I only watched the first season.
Oh, really?
And she was like, what, 13?
Well, now they're all like 35 years old.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's hard to. She is really pretty now. It's hard to see though, just
when she's a shaved head and fucking gaunt. And
well,
shit
no,
like
it's
that.
also just like I knew her as a child, right? Like I know her as a small child.
Yeah, but I also think there are connections allegedly with Leo.
To
Millie.
I mean, maybe. She's 25 or something now. So
she's like 22, but she got
23.
married at like 19, so that's gonna end, and she's gonna go bananas.
Yeah. That might be true, but she's married to a Bon Jovi.
Yeah,
right?
dude. Bon Jovi's son. John Bon Jovi's son.
And his older sister is a total fucking smackhead, right?
Really?
Yeah, she OD'd at fucking. Where did she go to?
JBJ's on her?
I can't remember what college. She went to some school. I think it's an all-girls school actually in New York.
Okay.
Fuck.
Interesting.
I don't remember which one it is, but yeah, she OD'd like 10 years ago maybe. But I'm told she's fine now.
Okay.
I don't know, but.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then breaking news here. We got some a quick update. So this is from yesterday's show, and then we chatted about this as well regarding the Epstein list.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people were asking, because Trump said, hey, we'll release it on day one. Well, obviously, he's got to get his picks in there. The first one got, well, the second one, Secretary of Defense is not going to be in charge of the Epstein list, obviously, but Pam Bondi just got confirmed last night as the Attorney General. Now, she said, I have no problem releasing this list tomorrow. However, breaking news here, Dick Durbin is blocking the Epstein client list. Senator Dick Durbin is standing in the way of full transparency on Jeffrey Epstein's network, refusing to support a subpoena for the full unredacted flight logs and records. And now everybody's asking, what is he hiding?
Yep.
I think we know what he's hiding, and it's his penis.
It's in underage girls.
Yes. Now, where is Dick Durbin from? I hear this name from time to time.
Illinois.
God damn it.
Yeah, of course.
No way.
The most corrupt state in the entire country.
We just went over this like a week ago. God damn it. He's from there as well. So, yeah, Trump signed off on it. They're trying to do it. And it is now being blocked right now, as well as the other confirmations. So that's our next story here. The confirmation hearings are finished for Kash Patel, RFK Jr., and Tulsi Gabbard. However, they have not been confirmed. There was that Prozo guy on Twitter said that this is going to be pushed a full week, and the Democrats have pushed it. First of all, can we change this?
I don't know that maybe with threats, we can force them to do something, blah, 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 but who fucking cares? They can delay it for a short amount of time and no further, so.
So no longer than a week? I don't know the rules to this. That's why I'm asking.
They can try to hold up cloture votes. They can try to do this. They can try to do that. And then John Thune can put the fucking Senate in recess, and they can do a recess appointment. There's nothing they can do about it, right?
Okay.
But the 60 cloture vote is 50 now. So either way, you'd be voting up or down. The same people that would vote to cloture would be voting up or down. This is only on confirmations, not on bills. You could still hold up for 60, I think, on bills, which is odd. We call it the nuclear option to get rid of that. To have a 51-49 up or down vote in the Senate is called the nuclear option, but for some reason, I don't fucking know why. But yeah, they're all getting. The only reason that they're delaying is because they've got the votes to confirm them. That's the only reason.
Got it.
Otherwise, you would fucking have the vote and votes no. That's it.
Right. So with that, then RFK's got the votes, Tulsi's got the votes, and Kash Patel's got the votes now. So let's say this does go a week. Can Kash Patel not deal with whatever this bullshit is with Dick Durbin and just release the list?
Once he gets in.
Okay.
I guess. I mean, like maybe the Senate wants some oversight committee or something has something to do with that. I actually don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how they, I mean, like the information, like President Trump is in control of the executive branch. There's nothing the Senate or the House can do to stop him from doing what he wants to do in the executive branch, unless it is something that is unless it is something that is specifically voted on and financially earmarked for something or a law, right? So if the Senate, if the Congress voted tomorrow to make weed legal, I mean, he would still have to sign it, right? But he could veto, or they could fucking have a supermajority and override him, whatever. Same thing in states. He couldn't then call the fucking DEA and say, hey, make weed legal or illegal again, right? That's not how that works. But as far as the administration of that, of the fucking executive branch, it is solely the responsibility of the president. We have 3 separate and co-equal branches of government: executive, legislative, and judicial. And legislative, they can't tell each other what to do. That's how the fuck it's set up. So yeah.
Well, then clearly Trump isn't worried because
they're not even talking about it.
He let Pam Bondi say, go ahead and release the list and do it. And now this is being held up by Dick Durbin. If you're Dick Durbin, though, I mean, what the fuck? Like, it's just the same admission of guilt by blocking it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's simply no reason to, and I would love to hear his statement on why the fuck he is.
That one's a weird one for me. I mean, I don't know why you would even. Why risk getting the bad press from that? That seems weird.
Strange. Very strange. But yeah, she mentioned that right after she got confirmed. She had no problem releasing the list. And then Dick Durbin has blocked that. So we'll find out what happens there. And love to see it. Love to see it. God damn. Did you imagine the day that comes out? We might as well block off a good 6 hours for that, dude, and really stretch her on out that day. Have some hard AF seltzers and enjoy it. Jesus Christ. Next up, who is Samantha Power? Since we've been talking about USAID, have to go down the rabbit hole as well here. Samantha Power was the agency's administrator during almost the entire Biden administration. Power, who previously served as United States ambassador to the United Nations from 2013 to 2017 in the Obama administration, after serving on his National Security Council, took the reins of USAID in the early days of the Biden administration and was tasked with overseeing tens of billions of dollars budgeted for foreign aid. One of the most pressing challenges facing our nation is restoring and strengthening America's global leadership as champions of democracy, human rights, and the dignity of all people, the then Vice President-elect Kamala Harris said in a statement at the time of Power's appointment. Few Americans are better equipped to handle and to help lead that work than Ambassador Samantha Power. Power is directly involved with the Obama administration's surveillance of Trump's 2016 presidential campaign and sought to obtain Michael Flynn's redacted identity using an unmasking request on at least
7 occasions.
7 occasions?
Yeah, despite testifying under oath before the House Intelligence Committee that she had no recollection of ever making such a request, not even once. So we may want to bring her back and charge her with perjury.
I was going to say.
Your signature's on it.
7 times?
You dumb bitch. Fox reported in 2017 that Power was, quote, unmasking at such a rapid pace in the final months of the Obama administration that she averaged more than one request for every working day in 2016. And even sought, even sought information in the days leading up to President Trump's inauguration in the lame duck period of Obama's term, right? This is when she was one of the crucial people in launching the fucking the intelligence agencies to go after Trump, the FBI to go after Trump, and then her tenure at USAID was also pretty problematic, even from her own party. So, including an incident in which she faced public revolt from current and former staff in 2024 over her support of Israel. Critics also took issue with her repeatedly meeting with influential liberal foundations while serving in her role at USAID, including Soros's Open Society Foundation at least twice, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation 5 times, and several other powerful groups like Ford and Rockefeller Foundations. Her support, so she's like one of those. When we talk about the deep state and these career bureaucrats that go from administration to bureaucratic appointment and then back into an administration and then bureaucratic appointment for decades at a time, these are the kind of people that they leverage to turn the wheels of justice against, or the intelligence community against a sitting U.S. president, which is what USAID and the CIA did. Tom Cotton sent a letter to Power in October of 24, sounding the alarm on, quote, likely misuse of more than $1 billion at U.S. humanitarian aid sent to Gaza in October of 23. A Syrian national named Mahmoud al-Hafian, 53, was charged a month later for allegedly diverting more than $9 million U.S.-funded humanitarian aid dollars to a terrorist group, including Al-Nusra Front. Now, Al-Nusra Front, known as Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, is designated terrorist organization with ties to Al-Qaeda and various other organizations. Once again, trillions with a T, trillions of dollars, not millions, not billions, of your tax dollars have been stolen, wasted, and used to enrich those serving in Congress and their friends, to include funding literal terrorist groups. And this is how it happens. It's not through elected people. It's through fucking bureaucrats like fucking Samantha Power. People like that stay in government for years and are yes men. Like, hey, it's not some grand conspiracy where people are sitting in a room making decisions. No, it's fucking career bureaucrats that are making $250,000 a year. Yeah. $300,000 a year. And they pick up the phone like, hey, we think Trump's up to something. Go look at him. And these people either don't have the integrity or the constitutional knowledge to know that it's not okay to fucking do that shit. And they go ahead and do it. And they either waste your money or they rip at the underbelly of our fucking republic.
And I was trying to think about when is the last time a government purge like this has happened? Or has it ever happened?
In America?
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that I can think of that's even close is fucking McCarthyism.
Didn't Eisenhower fire a bunch of people as well? Like,
I mean, Reagan busted the fucking FAA union.
Okay.
In 83, maybe? I don't remember what year it was.
I would say, I don't know really what the magnitude of this is yet so up close. You know what I mean? In terms of like not being away from it the way we are away from what I'm about to mention. But probably Andrew Jackson ending the central bank.
Okay. And what happened in that instance?
I mean, it came back a little while later.
Yeah, 1913.
So I guess, and by the way, this is the reason I ask. Trump's only got 4 years. Look, hopefully Vance gets in there for 8 and is able to continue this. And hopefully this shit just keeps continuing until we can correct it on both sides. Back to the other articles, if Republicans were receiving money and all that other shit, out them. If they're on the Epstein list, out them. Democrats and Republicans, let's just clean house and try to figure this out and then start over. But with him leaving in 4 years, who's to say this just won't return back to this bullshit? Because what's to stop? Let's say it was Hakeem Jeffries who got in there in 28. What's to stop him from putting USAID back into effect and doing all this shit?
I mean, technically nothing, right? Which is why Congress has to act. Congress has to pass legislation that backs up all of the stuff that Trump is doing right now, because that's an executive order is always a Band-Aid. Always.
Mm-hmm. It's none of this matters if there's no laws.
Yep.
So, and here's the deeper part of this conspiracy is like, dude, if both sides are on the take, how does this bill ever pass?
Well, I mean, now that it's out in the open, this is the thing. You were asking me about confirmations and like a week or so ago, and I said that the purpose of the hearing is twofold. One, it's grandstanding, and the other one is the people that are on the fence that think they have problems back home with their constituents about a particular nominee. You have to give them a reason to vote for it. And you can see Lindsey Graham, this is the best example, Lindsey Graham voting for Bobby Kennedy, which he said he was going to do now, right? He said, I'm going to vote for Bobby Kennedy now because he supports President Trump's statement on abortion or whatever the fuck it was. I don't even know what it was.
I don't either.
And I don't think the people in South Carolina who elect him know what it is either. All they know is that Trump, I'm sorry, Bobby Kennedy supports the Republican side for abortion. Okay, fine. Then we're not going to get mad at Lindsey Graham for voting for him now. That's what it's really about, right? That works in the opposite direction too. Now that all this shit has been put out in the sunlight, people are going to be like, "Whoa, we don't want anything to do with USAID or whatever the fuck," right? There's going to be some kickback, or pushback rather, from the left for a little while, and the hard left people are going to dig in because this is their fucking meal ticket. But people center left are going to fucking start to get away from this stuff. And you're going to see it in the votes, I guarantee you. Within sometime, maybe not even this year, but sometime next year, after all this becomes elucidated more publicly, people think about like Joe Manchin or somebody like that. There's no way he's voting for anything to go to USAID anymore. Because it would be a career.
It would be on
in
his
West
record,
Virginia,
yeah.
it would be a career ender for him.
So here's another smaller one, I guess, maybe, but I think it's analogous to this. The Iran-Contra affair hearings, right?
Okay.
In the late 80s. George Bush was elected a year later.
Right.
Yeah, with an overwhelming fucking vote. Too.
Yeah,
like, I
wasn't even close.
What was it, Dukakis that year?
Yeah,
I got
in
smoked.
88?
I think
yeah,
so.
he got fucking
But that was
smoked.
it was an investigation into what his own party was, his own presidency or vice whatever administration was doing.
Yeah.
Right,
and it didn't affect him at all.
What HW certainly did.
Yeah, OHW. I mean,
he was
running,
the architect of the shit.
Yeah, the guy that was
Yeah.
running the CIA. So I mean, let's temper expectations.
I know, and I think that's my biggest fear and concern with all of this is again what you just mentioned. Also, I do think there's people on the right in Congress who are probably taking money from USAID.
Sure, yeah, but there's a difference between us selling weapons to one group. Selling drugs or allowing drugs to be sold from one group so that we can fund a revolution somewhere. To be honest, that people that grew up in the 50s and 60s got used to the containment phase of the Cold War, the first phase, containment, which is where we fought micro wars all over the country or all over the globe to stop the spread of communism. That was containment. Then
Domino theory.
Yeah. Then we moved into détente, right, which is a cooling off period or whatever under Kissinger, and then we moved into what's called rollback. After that, rollback was, well, we got them on the ropes. Now we're going to start throwing haymakers. And what we did was we just outspent the Soviet Union, right, and broke their back. Containment phase, people were already used to. It wasn't a shocking thing to hear. It wasn't super popular always, but it wasn't shocking either to hear that we were going into fucking Laos or Vietnam or Cambodia or fucking Cuba or fucking anywhere in South or Central America. We were already in Panama 3 times by then. It wasn't that big of a deal to people. Now, they may have had an opinion about it and not liked it, but that wasn't a career ender. Finding out that U.S. politicians have been using the bureaucracy to fund news agencies all over the world to do propaganda is bad enough. But finding out that they've been stealing trillions with a T, taxpayer dollars, to do things like funding a coup against our own president, I don't know that you come back from that, right? Now, Bob mentions this from time to time. We're a group of perpetually online people, so we know all this stuff. We're read into it. It'll depend. All this will depend on how much of this seeps out into the normie world, the normal people world. Now,
yes.
The good news is that during the first week of January, which is usually a pretty decent ratings week, CNN averaged, guess how many, on their primetime shows, guess how many people?
600,000?
83,000.
Whoa, now?
First week of January. I don't know about this week.
Holy shit.
It was 83,000. You know where people are watching is this.
Yeah.
Fucking Theo Vaughn just had a fucking human rights expert on.
She was great, by the way.
Rogan, she's awesome. Yeah. Rogan, fucking, I mean, just that's the world that we live in now. So there's a better chance now than ever of this getting out into the normal world and people being like, oh shit, all this stuff that we thought was some kind of just like fantasy or right-wing whatever or nihilism is true. They've been butt fucking us for years.
I hope so, because like the statement you just made about, us reading up on everything all the time. Like, yes, that's not normal. Obviously, we do it for our jobs and podcasts and all that other stuff. But I was thinking about this last night. So USAID was trending #1 in the world for like the last day, 24 hours. I'm looking at the top trends now. Not even in the top 20 anymore. And I remember the same exact thing happened with the Twitter files. I thought personally, that when the Twitter files dropped and it exposed all of that shit that was actually going on, that it would change things, everybody would care. They cared for 72 hours online, but it didn't really carry over into the real world, and it was business as usual after that. So I hope it does. But I don't know, to be honest.
I mean, a good thing that you can do is if you're a listener of this show and you know people who watch the news and don't watch podcasts, you don't have to fucking proselytize or be a dick. You don't even have to send them to this show. I don't care about any of that shit. But ask them. Like, hey, did you hear that the CIA and the fucking State Department tried to overthrow the government? Just ask them if they know about it.
I had that conversation, and it's like, well, somebody said to me, well, it's because you guys are on the right and you voted for Trump. And I was like, we voted for Trump for a different, because we want to see all the shit that's going on right now, right? Not just because that's my party and everything else. I fucking hated Mitt Romney. I hated Bush. I hated Obama, all of them equally. I think that's going to be the narrative. Is like, hey, dude, they're going to say this because they're on the right, and that's it. And, there's a lot of people, too, that believe that USAID actually helped fucking people. You see Whoopi Goldberg's fucking nod in the camera of like, oh, yeah, we're going to fucking have millions of deaths and lies and all this other stuff. It's like, I don't know. I don't know how much this will seep into everybody else.
So when you do show them this show, make sure to be like, hey, just fast forward past the stripper part. She's usually not there. Just go to the back of the USAID part.
Right. Because you got to mix that in, right? Because how do you hook people into the news, Bob? Strippers. Got to have strippers, too. That's how you get people involved in news, all right? You got to make it fun for today's youth, brother. Otherwise, what are we fucking doing here, okay? Next up, sponsor-wise, we got firstform.com/Drinkin Bros. I've already taken my microfactors, empty pouches on the thing. Don't come at me today, all right? Took my vitamins. I do it every single day. 30 individual bags full of vitamins here, right out of this beautiful little pouch in this box here. And it's got the big 6 in it. Antioxidants, CoQ10s, multivitamins, fruits and veggies, EFAs, and the probiotics. Also been loading up on the liver detox here this week. Bob, do we have any more of this, by the way? We're going to go hard for the Super Bowl, and I want to make sure I'm prepared.
I think there's
I'm
some
almost out.
I think there's some on the back at the fridge.
Thank God, because shit's gonna get wild on Sunday. I'm gonna go hard for the Super Bowl. It's almost like a funeral meeting. I'm happy that it's going on, but I'm also sad because it's ending and football season was now gone for like 7 months. So yeah, I'm gonna be hitting up that liver detox, but they're not just a vitamin company here. They're also about the protein. D'Anthony, tell us about the protein over there.
Protein.
Yeah. What is it?
Building block of life.
Sure is.
You know what I've been doing lately is I wouldn't call him my trainer, but my associate.
Okay.
Who gives me advice on things from time to time. It's Rogan's security director, not the one from Mothership that you know.
Oh yeah, the other one.
Different guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Navy SEAL guy.
Yeah.
He's got me on this. It's technically intermittent fasting, but they used to do it differently. This is the newest version of it, and it used to be like, oh, I'm only going to drink water except for 2 hours on Tuesday and Thursday in the week, right? And I'm going to eat within a 2 hour window for 2 days a week.
Yep.
Now it's every day, and you're eating within either a 6 or 8 hour window, and you really got to pack it in because that's the only thing. You get a lunch usually and a fucking dinner.
Yes.
And you got to get.
That's what I do, by the way.
I've got to get all of my somewhere between 2,800 and 3,000 calories in that day, right? Depending on what I'm doing lift-wise that day, right? I've got to get, it's somewhere between 25 and 3,000. And that, just getting it with food, you're going to spend all day chewing. Also, it's limited time windows, so you don't have all that time. So when I need to hit my protein goals, I got to fucking supplement. That's the only way to do it. So I got to grab, even when we're just here in the studio, I'll grab a meat stick or a fucking level 1 bar. And then after I work out, sometimes if we start at 2 that day instead of noon that day, I'll fucking have a big shake with Formula 1.
Yeah.
Or level 1.
I go to level 1 bars all day long. These things are the best. Everybody who comes in, AJ Buckley from SEAL Team stole a bunch of them. Yeah, AJ, I fucking saw you. He stole the level 1 bars. These are the jam, dude. So even if you get like a late night hankering for a Snickers bar, maybe you're not feeling yourself and you need a little Snickers, a little sweet treats, use a level 1 bar instead. That's my only recommendation. They taste really goddamn good. And the cookie dough is amazing. That's there. Peanut butter, pretzel, and chocolate is awesome. And so is the birthday cake, which some asshole fucking stole from us.
I've actually got some in my house.
Is that you? Is that you who took the box?
I bought my own because all of them kept getting canned.
Yeah, they were taken. So I got to have one and then they're gone. But go to firstform.com/Drinkin Bros today. Free shipping on orders over $75. And that's First Form spelled with a 1. That is 1STPHORM. Firstform.com/Drinkin Bros. Next up, another $2 trillion wasted. The Senate confirmed oil industry executive Chris Wright to be the next energy secretary on Monday, clearing the way for President Donald Trump to expand domestic energy production and ramp up liquefied natural gas exports. The Colorado-based CEO of Liberty Energy was confirmed by a vote of 59 to 38, with all present Republicans and 7 Democrats throwing their support behind his nomination. Mr. Wright's nomination should be an alarm bell for every single American who has gotten a job recently at battery plants, EV factories, and other good-paying clean jobs. Senate's Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said in a statement there, well, how is this an alarm bell? How is this an alarm bell?
It's not. It's an alarm bell for these dipshits. Here's the alarm bell.
Is all the money spent on the EV bullshit?
So it costs American tax. Do you remember Solyndra? Mm-hmm. Do you remember all the other fossil or non-fossil fuel companies that have been started over the past 15 years since Obama, right?
Yes.
All of them tanked. Literally all of them tanked, right? They all suck. A lot of them did irreparable damage to the environments they were installed in. If you've watched Landman, you know this now.
The windmills?
They're basically quoting a report during that scene. He just kind of copied and pasted the quote. But they last for about 30 years and they never make up for the oil used to make them in the first place. Mm-hmm. It's fucking stupid, right? With the Inflation Reduction Act so far, we spent $2 trillion, not just the Inflation Reduction Act, but that plus some of the other quote-unquote green energy things. Spent $2 trillion, trillion with a T. Do you want to guess how much that reduced our fossil fuel use in America?
By 50?
2%.
Oh, no way. You don't say. Color me shocked.
Yeah, we may as well have lit the money on fire and used that for energy. That would have been more profitable than this stupid bullshit.
So is this all just a fucking grift at this point?
Yes.
Okay.
It's always been a grift. Everything in government is a grift. That's what I've been telling you guys for years.
But let's take EVs, because there was a listener who hit me up. He put a Rivian on there on Twitter, and he filled it up full of hard AF seltzer up in Michigan, because I saw the Michigan cans, and then he also bought some variety packs. And people were going back and forth making fun of him and the EVs and all that other shit. I like some of them. I like the EV cars. Do you think that is a viable future? The only thing that I don't like about them is the range.
The EV problem is twofold. One, it's that where's the energy coming from for those EVs? It's coming from fucking fossil fuels.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
Unless you're Thomas Massey, who has a completely off-grid, fully solar-generated home that he built himself because he's a fucking lunatic, then your EV, those charging stations you see out there, guess where that energy is coming from? It's coming from fucking nuclear, and it's coming from oil.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's where it's coming from. So it's not a problem with it. Like EV cars are better than combustion engines in most ways, right? So torque in general is going to be better off the line, and then eventually once we're able to capture more energy for the batteries and make them smaller and stuff like that, then combustion engines won't be able to compete, right? That's why these EV trucks are coming, like semis. They're coming.
Yeah.
And they're going to completely wipe out all the other trucks, which is not bad because they're still going to need an operator.
Yes.
So it's not bad. It's just like that's coming. There'll always be better. The problem is in this idea that we should be tampering with the market and forcing everybody to be EV by 2030 or 35 or whatever. That's stupid. Let it happen. It's already happening. It's the same thing with Roe v. Wade.
Yeah.
Right? It was already happening. Just shut the fuck up and let it happen. The market will handle itself. That's the only issue. That and access to rare earth minerals to make the batteries and stuff. But as we become better at that, that problem will go away as well. But again, this isn't about combustion versus EV. It's about let the market fucking work the way it works and let it decide. If by some stretch of the imagination we just run out of fossil fuels, it's not going to happen, by the way, ever. It's not going to happen. But let's say we did, then we can panic.
Yeah.
Then we can panic. But we're panicking for no fucking reason. I mean, Bob, you can play that Twitter link right there. You can play this guy's video and hear it from him.
Mark Nixon, is that it?
No, Chris Wright. He's the... Well, yeah, that's the
Twitter. Yeah,
this is the new fucking energy secretary.
Okay, play this video.
Driving policy, the media, politicians, they've never bothered to learn anything about climate change, and they don't seem to appreciate at all that the cost and affordability of energy is simply intimate to human well-being. It always has, everywhere and always. So these two ignorances about the importance of energy and about real facts about climate change are driving just a massively destructive movement, not just destructive to the economic well-being of humans, but I speak in schools, it's turning people away from science, and I mean science, this process of questioning and challenging, not the science, this sort of top-down, mandates that justify what people want to do anyway, that has nothing to do with climate change. And how has it gone so far? So we're 20 years, $2 trillion of subsidies. In the year 2000, the world got 86% of its total primary energy from fossil fuels. So last year, in 2020, that 86% plunged all the way down to 84%. So calling this an energy transition, and everyone in my industry does that. The investment banks, the companies, you're supposed to write an ESG report apologizing that you're in our industry and how you're going to get out someday and your energy transition strategy. Well, the low-hanging fruit is the start. That's the electricity sector in rich countries. If 20 years and that much money drove us from 86 to 84, that's not an energy transition at all.
So I'm with you here with everything that's going on. I didn't want to be forced into it. And I brought up the guy and the listener about the EV cars. It's not that we're against EV cars or anything else like that. I don't want to be forced to buy one with a range that is only 300. Like I'll wait until it gets better. And I agree with you. I think the market will eventually shake itself out.
Well, here's how
we don't need to sign these bills like in California.
The government shouldn't be in the business of choosing winners and losers. It should do what it can to promote the winner, right? Like let the market do its thing and a winner emerge and then say, all right, we're investing in that then, right? EVs have now hit the mark. Let's set some threshold. EVs have to be able to do this, like the battery has to weigh this much or less, or it has to have this much range or whatever the fuck. And then we'll invest in it.
Yeah.
But only then, right? Because otherwise, EV companies have absolutely no reason to upgrade their technology right now. There's no competition, or there wasn't, rather. There is now. There wasn't any competition. And here's how we know there was no competition. Elon Musk put the fucking blueprint for his battery on the internet for free because he wanted to create competition so that everybody would get better and an industry would get larger. He did it. That's insane.
It was like 32 patents, I think he put up on the internet.
He put all of his patents on the internet for it and said, hey, if you think you can do better, do it. And then we'll fucking copy you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we'll make everything better. That's how the market is supposed to work. Let the technology speak for itself, and once it hits its ripeness, then we pick it and we fucking fund it. That's how it works.
And
right?
these guys aren't even necessarily like anti, I guess, quote unquote, like green energy. Like they
own most of the green energy companies.
Yeah, I know, because they're really energy companies. They're not fossil fuel companies.
Yeah, correct.
And I mean, conservatives even do this too. I actually applauded Greg Abbott for this a couple weeks or months ago or whatever. But he's been signing stuff to like increase solar in Texas because it's a viable thing. We're not replacing fossil fuel with it, but it's a viable energy source.
Yeah.
And energy diversification. I'm pretty down the middle for most things. Energy is probably one of the things I lean the farthest right on. Like get as much energy as possible. Like drill, baby, drill.
Yeah. Energy is national security.
It is. And you need like a 401k or anything else. You need diversification, but not at the cost of safety.
Well, here, this guy was the one that you may remember from his confirmation hearing where, I don't remember which dipshit senator it was, but he was like, oh, we're in a clean energy race with China. And he goes, no, we're not. We're in an energy race with China. They don't give a fuck about cleanliness. Their emissions have been going up, actually. And they're going to build something like, they're building, I think he said like 60, I don't remember, don't quote me on this, but something like 60 new coal plants and like 10 new fucking nuclear facilities in China this year. What the fuck are we doing?
Another,
you know what I mean? And then Germany had 6. 15 years ago, they had 6 nuclear reactors and provided almost all of their own energy, so much so they had a surplus that they were selling to others. Now, they have 1. And people there are trying to shut that one down. You know what I mean? And it put them in a situation right before Russia invaded Ukraine. Germany had to start purchasing LNG, liquid natural gas, from Russia. Like that Russia invasion of Ukraine probably never happens if European countries especially don't divest from fossil fuels.
Yeah.
And nuke.
And nuke. Yeah.
Nuclear energy, yeah.
Like it's
what a huge fucking mistake that probably cost 1 million people their lives.
Yeah.
Because you want to fucking be what? Clean energy, man. And it's all based on a fucking hoax. It's nonsense.
And nuclear is clean.
Nuclear is the cleanest form of energy.
And when Rubio had that meeting in El Salvador, that's exactly what he was asking for. He was like, look, we would love nuclear energy to advance our country, to advance all of this shit. One thing that I wanted to ask you guys about, because you're know way more about climate shit than I do, both you two, is this. There was a story I read about China and then potentially having the most powerful energy ever, which is if you could harness the energy of the sun somehow. What is that?
And cold fusion?
It's called, it's called the Holy Grail of energy.
No, it's nuclear fusion. Yeah. So what happens at the center of a star is that right. So these are hydrogen atoms, right?
Yeah.
And gravity pulls this big gas cloud together, and these hydrogen atoms get pressed together so hard that they go together, and now it's 2 protons. So it's a helium atom, right? And that keeps happening over and over again, bigger, 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 and that's what creates the energy. Every time this happens, there's energy. So when we split an atom, that's an atom bomb. That's a nuclear weapon, right? And you see the massive amount of energy that's released from that. When you fuse atoms together, it's even more energy. And probably unlimited to some degree. Now, China created a mini sun, I believe. Is that right,
That's
Bob?
what I heard, yes. But I didn't understand what the significance of it was. This mini sun that they've potentially created.
Artificial sun.
Yeah.
Is a fusion reactor that replicates the sun's nuclear fusion process.
And so if they were to do that, why can't we do the same thing? I guess is my first question there. And then what would that mean for the rest of the world?
Well, I mean, to be honest, what we should do and what we probably are doing is just spying on them to see until they get it to an 80% solution, and then we just steal the tech and try to get to 100 ourselves before them. That's what they do to us with IP theft all the time.
Okay.
That would be the smart move.
Interesting, because for whatever reason, that is considered the holy grail of energy, and that's it. If you have that, you win on this planet. And when I saw that China was doing it, I was like, well, there's no fucking way we are then.
Also, though, with China, like for every deep seek type of situation where it's like, oh shit, that is actually awesome. There's like 20 things where they say they're doing rad shit and it's just fucking fake.
Yeah, I mean,
which I assume a lot of countries, we do that probably with shit.
They're also sewing fucking human faces on monkeys and shit. Well, those guys.
But that's awesome.
No, those guys all got executed by the CCP.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because people found out about it probably. I don't know.
Monkeys were too good looking?
Yeah, they were putting fucking Jared Leto's face on all the monkeys.
Man, that'd be a good looking monkey.
So
good-looking monkey.
And here's another problem that they're probably the reason it's taking them longer than it probably normally would to scale that technology is because so hydrogen turns into helium, turns into lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon. Fuck, I don't remember what's after that. Nitrogen, oxygen, then something else until it gets to iron. And when it gets to iron, the core becomes too dense and it either shrinks and becomes like a fucking dwarf or that's a supernova, right? And if we were to, even on that small scale that they're doing in China, I think it's like the size of a fucking beach ball or something, the mini sun they made. If that thing went supernova, it would probably wipe that fucking city off the map. You know what I mean? So you got to kind of be careful about scaling it upwards. It's not there's a I guess there's
a downside.
There's a downside. Yeah, there's a diminishing return on the energy you would get because at some point it's like it'll fucking blow everybody up.
Well, I like how you use the 2 Lucy tins to demonstrate that there, because if you do put both of those tins together and put it in your mouth at the same time,
you will not have
explode.
a good day. Yeah, that would be a bad day.
In the bathroom, probably. Next up, advertiser-wise, is AmericanFinancing.net/Drinkin Bros. Look, we're talking to homeowners out there. This is you guys. Shit, Dan and I just had this conversation last night, dude, in regards to fucking credit card APRs and all this other shit, dude. If you're struggling out there with the credit card debts, because most of it is at 23 to 27, I know Trump and Bernie Sanders, actually. Bernie Sanders said, hey, Trump, I don't know if you saw his tweet last night, but he goes, Trump, I agree with you on this. Let's try to work together to get this down to 10%, and I'm in. And I was shocked to see that tweet from Bernie Sanders to President Trump because he wants the same thing. But right now, we're not there, dude. APR on credit cards is like 23 to 27%. Over the last 4 years, obviously, inflation, all the other shit is through the fucking roof. And we've had to grab for credit cards versus cash more times than not, or our debit cards out there. And if you're trying to pay these off, you can take money out of your house, out of the equity of it, pay them off, and then get an 8% or 7, I forget where the rate's at right now, versus a 23 to 27% that you're paying on these credit cards, and eliminate your debt. This will help you consolidate it at a cheaper price. The customer, we've used it 3 times here. That's why I know this like the back of my hand. I don't even have to read the fucking copy. Customers save on average about $800 a month, which if you have a mortgage out there, that's a fucking lot. And I say that is because for us, if they just eliminated property taxes, that would chop that off at $800 a month for me here in Texas. So through the goddamn roof. So it really helps. So they don't have any hidden fees or any of that shit. All you have to do is call, and they'll ask you and ask how much you can save. You don't have to pay for anything. It's free, and you may be able to close as fast as 10 days. Also, you might be able to delay like 2 mortgage payments, which also rocks, and that creates more savings up front. That way you can knock out more of these bills on the back end. They've helped hundreds of thousands of people. If you want to just check out their Google reviews, they're lights out. And like I said, I've used them 3 times, and it's effective over the years. January and February and March, right before tax season, is when you want to fucking do this. You want to get your financial house in order. And AmericanFinancing.net/DrinkinBros is here to help. Or you can call 866-887-2275 to learn how homeowners are saving $800 a month on average. NMLS 182334, and you can check that out at www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. All of these sponsors and all of our advertisers are in the audio description for our audio listeners out there, so you can just click the link. You don't have to hit us up in the DMs. Bob's been putting these in the shows for years and years and years. So all these people fucking help, and I've used them a lot. Next up, Trump protects women. President Donald Trump on Wednesday signed the No Men in Women's Sports Executive Order, which we chatted about yesterday. Riley Gaines was there, dude, by the way. She was there for this, fulfilling one of his major campaign promises of keeping biological men out of girl and women's sports. Trump signed the executive order on National Girls and Women in Sports Day, which celebrates female athletes in women's sports and those who are committed to providing equal access of sports for all females. This doesn't have to be long. It's all about common sense, Trump said before signing the order, adding that women's sports will be only for women. I know that's a huge shock.
Yeah, we live in the dumbest period of human history where this even has to be said. The phrase biological man is completely meaningless. Mm-hmm. That means nothing. Yep. It doesn't matter how much shit you remove or add. You're a fucking man or you're a fucking woman, period.
That's it.
Pardon the pun there, but...
No, but this is a campaign promise he ran on, and he did it very, very quickly. And a lot of people are ants about this, myself included. And also, yesterday on yesterday's show, we talked about the Riley Gaines episode we did 3 years ago here on the show. Like I said yesterday, this is one of the first podcasts that she had gone on to kind of share her story. And since then has been a champion of that. She was there yesterday. Bob, if you check your Twitter and pop up that video there, Trump even gave her a shout out, and we'll play that now. Go one up right there with Trump. Yep, thank you. This was really fucking cool. And he's doing all this stuff so quickly. That's why he said in this statement, I'm going to keep this short because he's got to fix the rest of the goddamn country. Go ahead and play this.
We're honored to be joined today by many incredible advocates for women's sports, including the brave swimmer at the forefront of this battle. And Riley Gaines is a person that I've been watching. Fought hard. Riley was a 12-time All-American. Well, that's pretty good. 12-time All-American who sacrificed countless hours in the pool just for a chance at the title. It's so important to her. She gave up everything and just gave everything she had. But then the league forced her to share a spot on the podium with a male swimmer who took her trophy while the media celebrated this stolen glory. And Riley is just a tremendous athlete, and it was a very unfair situation. I watched it. A lot of people watched it. It was ridiculous, frankly. But I want to thank Riley. She really has been in the forefront. People that aren't that well-versed in this would say that she was the leader. And great job, Riley. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
So a lot of people asked us, hey, did you guys know 3 years ago that she was going to champion this and do all this other stuff? And we got a bunch of DMs about it after yesterday's show. The answer is no. We get pitched guests, and then Dan and I decide whether or not we want to have them on the show and what their story is, and if we think it's important or think it's cool or funny or interesting to listen to on a daily basis. This was one of them. And the event that he was talking about with Leah Thomas, I mean, she came on, what was it? A month after, 2 months after this had all shaken out, and then she graduated college and was all done. So we had no idea, and good for her for sticking with it. I know I said this yesterday, and I'll say it again. She took a lot of fucking shit for this, man, online. Her family did and everything else. So that was a very cool moment that we saw, and
Yeah, the NCAA says they're reviewing the executive order to see how to proceed. But I can tell you this, Pam Bondi already let sanctuary cities yesterday know after her confirmation that she was going to shut down any federal funding to their city until they revoked those statutes. So I assume this will be the teeth here as well. If the NCAA comes out and says, blah, 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 we're going to let the universities decide or anything like that without making it a clear policy, then Bondi will threaten them with revocation of their federal funding, which she is well within her rights to do.
Yeah. And if you're a Democrat at this point, after getting House in all three phases of the election here, clearly this was not the hill to die on. You kept doing it. I would be shocked if this, like, is anybody gonna fucking push back on this?
The Ivy League schools for sure, but they're private, so they can do what they want. Like this will not apply to private organizations. There's not. I mean, certainly if Ivy League schools are taking federal funding, that can be dried up.
Yeah,
but they're not public schools, right? So.
But the Ivy League schools took a massive hit with the protests and the Palestinian bullshit and everything else.
I think some will get on board, some won't. UPenn still has some fucking crazy person working on their board who was it? David Draymond. Remember him from
oh yeah.
What's the name of that band?
Yeah, fuck man.
He did that cover of Sound of Silence. Who is it?
God damn it, dude.
David Draymond.
Draymond. Draiman. Fuck.
In the sound
Disturbed.
of silence.
Yeah. So he's a huge Jew, and he posted on his Twitter, I think yesterday, about some fucking dummy at Penn, like shaking hands or posting some kind of congratulatory thing to a fucking terrorist that's killed Israeli people, or like just this past week. It just happened.
Really?
Right? So they still haven't figured it all out yet.
Okay. Interesting.
See how it goes, I guess.
Interesting. Next up, we got the Twitter earnings reports. Remember how Elon Musk bought Twitter and ran it into the ground? Well, that was the story, anyways.
Yeah, that's what the news said.
They continue to say
the news TM.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like the science TM.
Yeah. As it turns out, the company is doing so well that banks are selling their loans because of high demand. There's more than one way to skin a cat, as they say, and Elon's plan was simple. It was efficiency. Mm-hmm. That was it. So if you guys remember the story, he cut, 77% of the workforce there?
Right about that, yeah.
Everybody said it would fail. You don't have enough people behind the scenes. All this shit would go down, blah, 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 blah. Well, it didn't happen. And now he's applying the same theory to our own government here with Doge. I loved his statement, by the way, because everybody said, I didn't elect President Elon Musk.
Yep.
And his reply was, I'm not the president, I'm only tech support.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best way to look at this. Mm-hmm. This really is tech support for our country right now.
Well, let's look at the numbers.
Yeah, the top line revenue.
Yeah, top line revenue from before the purchase is now about half of what it was. So technically speaking, Twitter is making 50% of the revenue they were making before. And that to some people that have never run a business, especially what was a publicly traded business, would think, oh, that's not good news. But costs are a quarter of what they were, right? So net margins increased from 13% to 46%. Net margins or net revenue is code for profit. Mm-hmm. Profit. So even though revenue shrunk by half, they are quite a bit more profitable, not just percentage-wise. So Twitter reported to its investors their 2024 EBITDA, which is earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization, of about $1.25 billion and an annual revenue of $2.7 billion. For context, a good EBITDA to revenue ratio is 10% or higher. Anywhere above like 20-25% is elite.
Yes.
I mean, that's a startup that's got a huge amount of capital funding that is just hit a boon in the market. Let's think of like Black Rifle after that fucking ISIS meme.
Yeah.
And it just like the company went from fucking 7 million to 40.
Yeah.
That's what you would expect there. For comparison, Twitter in 2021, which is the last full year before Elon bought the company, reported an EBITDA of $682 million and about $5 billion in revenue, which is only 8.6, which is subpar, right? Not just percentage-wise, though. They went from $682 million in profit in 2021 to $1.25 billion. They doubled their profit after shrinking the company by half. They doubled their profit because it was a piece of shit. So yeah, Democrats, when you see Elon slashing budgets and cry about it, the rest of us are just sitting around wondering what you're crying about. Because I'm not concerned in any way, whether you like him or not, whether you approve of some of his dealings with foreign countries, which I've been critical of for years now, India, China, Turkey especially. No argument can be made against his capabilities to bring out-of-control spending to heal and make an organization profitable. He's done it with fucking 4 massive organizations now.
Yeah.
4 in a row. The future of America is looking pretty bright.
It is. And let's take Elon and just Twitter, for example. If he really wanted to blow out the fucking spending and double or triple this or whatever, he could put gigantic ads on the side of these guys. I'm looking at the page right now. Put gigantic ads all over this motherfucker if he wanted to, and I don't see any.
No, it's just it's interstitial ads. That's it. That's all he's doing.
That's it. But
interstitial ads, and then obviously some of the revenue from subscriptions on Twitter, like to people's accounts. By the way, since we posted Schellenberger's whole report from earlier, he's got probably, in my opinion, if you want to keep a close eye on all this shit that's going on with government spending being slashed and all the fucking fraud, wasted abuse that's being found, subscribe to Schellenberger's page on Twitter. And then if you want to keep up with the CRT stuff specifically, subscribe to Chris Rufo's page. And if you want to follow the anti-communist stuff, subscribe to James Lindsay. They're probably like $5 a month or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if you're interested in those things and you want to get direct source information, those are guys that you should fucking follow.
Yes.
At least follow their Twitter accounts, even if you don't subscribe.
Yeah. So, and then to put this in perspective, Bob, did you show the Twitter page to the audience? Ours, or just anyone, whatever comes up right there. Yeah, I just put it on screen. Yeah. That's it. So, by comparison, there's a site called Drudge Reports that is going after Elon on a daily basis. So click on Drudge Report right now.
Drudge Report looks like a fucking Angel Fire site with embedded ads in it from 30 years ago.
Bro, I mean...
It's almost unreadable now.
So click on... So every day, right there, it's front and center. He's going, for whatever reason, he's going after Elon Musk every single day. So right now, there's a poll. Musk crashes back to Earth, and it's not... people aren't happy about it, whatever. 1, that's not true. 2, go ahead and click it on right there. So he's got ads right there at the bottom. Boom, with those things. And then once you click on that ad right there, Bob, you had it. It goes directly to ad results and a fucking ad and everything else. Then you got to click on that ad and then just click it. Click the poll one if you want up top. There you go.
I did. And the first time an ad popped up, but then I think as soon as I click it again, it didn't.
Yeah, so it's a delayed fucking ad. So after 15 or 20 seconds of inactivity on the page, it'll make the entire page a click ad.
Correct.
Basically.
And then once you go to it, so you can pop back on here. What is this, The Hill that put the post this? Probably funded by USAID. What's the first thing you see next to the fucking article there is some giant goddamn ad. He could do that on both sides of Twitter, on the pages if you wanted to, all the way down, and monetize the shit out of it. Quadruple, quintuple all these products if you wanted to, all of it.
That wouldn't make much of a difference because I assume Twitter's traffic is like 98% mobile. So the web browser ads would be kind of whatever. It's all this feed ads.
So I'm mobile too, and I read all these sites every single night, morning, just to kind of prepare for this shit. Even on mobile, Bob, Drudge is the same exact way, man. I've got to click through that stupid thing, and then I get the same fucking bullshit on mobile as I do on desktop.
No, but I'm saying there's no space on the sides on the app.
Yeah, there is. Like on mine, there is at least. And yeah, dude, you could just pop that right on in there, dude, if you wanted to. What do they call it? A widget or a cookie? Something fun and flirty for the kids. Like, you could pop that shit on there if you wanted to. Because we have an app. Drinkin' Bros has an app, and we were offered it. They said, hey, do you want to put these on there? Dan and I said no. I said, you want to charge people for Drinkin' Bros app on iPhone or Android? I said, no, I don't want to charge for it. We got to know that they're real people, obviously, so it doesn't get spammed by fucking, China or whatever the fuck it is. But it's all free. And yeah, we had the option to put ads on it and monetize whatever the fuck it is. So we didn't do it. You do have the option for it. So if he really wanted to blow this out, he absolutely fucking could. But I don't know what his end game is with Twitter. Do you? Because he doesn't have to report to shareholders. So what is the end game of Twitter?
He does technically have a lot of shareholders, like the other investors that helped him pull the $44 billion. And I think a lot of individuals in the company may have held on to their shares as well, people that stayed on. I'm not sure about that. But as far as what he's trying to do with it, he's made a media company. It hasn't fully come to fruition yet, right? He's NBC in 1945 right now, right? And everybody's kind of tinkering with the functionality, making new apps, making new subscription services, making new ways for the creator to monetize. That's the point. So remember, NBC was started by General Electric, GE, because they wanted to sell their stoves, their ovens, all that appliances, right? That's why they created the company, just to be a marketing device. And eventually, they were like, well, why are we just selling our own stuff? What if people paid us to sell their stuff, right? Fair enough. And also GE used that as an opportunity to see which products were successful in the market, and then they would buy that company afterwards. So it was a whole thing. That Elon is in the very early stages of that right now, and it is a new version of decentralized media in a way that YouTube has gotten really good, right? They're
probably the best at it.
YouTube is the best that's ever existed in that decentralized space. The problem is that it's heavily influenced by organizations like USAID, the Chinese Communist Party, and so on and so forth. Elon wants to make one that is truly decentralized from all that stuff, because he's gambling on Americans' proclivity to not want to be told what the fuck to do, basically, right? Which is usually in America is a pretty good gamble. So that's where we are right now, and it'll develop more over the next 5 to 10 years. And this is going to be the company was worth $44 billion when he bought it. It'll be worth probably $500 billion in 10 years, if I had to guess. Something like that.
So one thing that's interesting about Twitter that I was really excited about, that I've been screaming that they should have done like fucking 10 years ago, is if you notice, I don't know if you notice on the app, but if you open the app, and you go to the bottom, right? The first far left is home. You can reorganize it, I think, if you have a check mark. Home, search, Grok. They added the video tab, much like Instagram has Reels, which is...
oh, fuck, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you got to catch those doom scrollers.
Right. So here's the thing with that, though, that's great. I mean, there's one of these platforms, basically Instagram or Twitter. I think TikTok's... I know Trump saved it, but I don't think it's long for this world either way. One of these things is going to become the everything platform. Right, where you can read in one column, where you can watch a video in another column, where you can maybe just see your friends in another column. That's what I kind of foresee happening here, and I think Twitter, to an extent, is kind of better poised to do it because it's not awkward to read on Twitter because you're used to it.
Yeah.
And it would be, I think it's more awkward to read on Instagram. It's interesting how it's going to play out.
It is.
And by the way, so Alex Jones is live right now. It's 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. He's live on, was live on, no, he's still live.
Yeah.
He's live right now, 6 hours into his broadcast, and there are 1.2 million live viewers right now.
I told Gary that the other day, and you didn't believe. I was just like, hey, dude, look at these numbers. It's fucking insane. Now, personally, I think once Alex went, or InfoWars went down, I don't know if it is still down, but this was the next logical step for him, and this is the next logical step for all of media, and including our show. I mean, we've got 700 people watching live on Twitter right now for us. Now, granted, we're kind of new to it, so we're just starting this within the last 6 months on this show, but everybody else will start to get the hang of it. So will we, and I'm really curious to see where this goes, because even Drudge Report, which I mentioned earlier, to put an example, the reason why Drudge has been so successful over the years was because he kept it simple in the same manner. However, he has changed the tone drastically over the years, from right to left and backwards. It's not just it's like a doomsday site now at this point. Pretty much every single article over there. But yeah, it'll be fun to see over the years. And he could fucking have this thing goddamn explode.
Here's this live stream right now. It's up to 1.4 million. The one from, like, if you look at, just do yourself, if you're curious about it, go look at Alex Jones' Twitter page and go look at the live stream that was on all day yesterday and see how many collective views it has now.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It's more than any fucking broadcast or cable news channel will get in a week.
And I'll say this in regards to Alex, he has been doing this for years on his own website, and it just translated perfectly to what he was already doing because he was thrown off YouTube. And so he was way far ahead of the game because of it, and YouTube forced him into it, ironically, which is crazy because they threw him off. And then speaking of which, last but not least here, this is just a fun story to end with, and yes, we saw it on Twitter, and it was fucking awesome. Cat Williams, who predicted the downfall of Diddy and everybody else last year. Well, he's had enough, and this one went viral last night. Go ahead and play this in regards to somebody who was in his audience at one of his latest stand-up shows.
Because I'm saying, you think I'm just in Mexico and I'm defending America. Because are you Mexican? Do you know where Mexico is? No, this ain't Mexico. It used to be Mexico, motherfucker, and now it's Phoenix, goddammit. Go get you some cigarette speech. I'll beat you cabrón.
What's this harem on stage?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I mean, dude, so very, very, very long time ago when I was doing stand-up, people used to pop into like the Comedy Store and Laugh Factory and all that shit. He was one of them. Dude, I can tell you in real life, that's the last person, one of the last people on earth you want to heckle. He is a ruthless motherfucker. The harem on stage, by the way, he'd built this whole persona. If you go back to his early stand-up, he was a pimp, and yeah, dude, he used to dress up like a pimp on stage with these green suits and canes and all this crazy shit. And make no mistake, he is a ruthless motherfucker, dude.
Yeah, but if you've heard him talk recently, like on podcasts or just in general when he's not doing stand-up, he's like very spiritual.
Yeah. So I don't know what happened in between, but like his early days was pimp.
I mean,
and then spirituality, and I have no idea if he's going back or whatever, but like this is old school Cat Williams that we're seeing, and this is why this clip went viral. He used to do this shit all the fucking time before the internet existed.
I like to hear him. I like to think that they just sit there and they're like, tell a joke, daddy.
I don't even, there's a monkey. Did you see that? Rewind it. There's a monkey with a party hat on.
That monkey's making $150,000 a year to be there too.
It's a chimpanzee with the, right there. Press pause.
Oh my God. No, that's not chimp, I think.
No, that is. I think it's a real monkey.
It's a monkey for sure. Well,
no,
actually, I think that's a statue.
Is it a statue of a monkey or a real monkey?
It's holding a bottle of water up. So
it's so still. It's hard to.
There's no way that's it.
Can you train a monkey that well is what I want to know, though. Like, because if so, I want to buy one of those things. All I've seen is the ones that rip people's faces off. Like, this monkey looks like he's still, and he looks like he's staring at the Mexican dude that he's yelling out in the crowd. So, shit. Cat Williams, I love it.
We got some breaking news.
What do we got?
One is that USAID funneled $27 million to Black Lives Matters through the Tides Foundation. We just found that out.
Awesome.
So that's great. No shock there, though. This is actual breaking news. Trump's Ukraine peace plan has leaked, and he's going to have Zelensky agree to a ceasefire by April 20th. Ukraine would be barred from joining NATO Kiev would recognize Russia's sovereignty over the lands they've annexed so far and withdraw from Kursk. And European, probably British troops would police a demilitarized zone with no U.S. involvement, similar to Korea, South and North Korea.
Okay.
So probably a 50 mile DMZ between the two.
Gotcha.
No U.S. troops.
Why 420?
Because that's Hitler's birthday, maybe? I don't know.
Well, I mean...
It is.
I know it is, but
I
it's
have no idea why 420.
It's the International Smoking Weed Day. So
yeah, maybe he wants to celebrate.
Are we doing the peace thing like all the way around and just handing out weed around the world?
Yeah.
Because if he's going to do that and end that war, we also should probably pass legalization of marijuana that day as well.
Javier Milei just banned gender-affirming care for people under 18. More breaking news. A lot of stuff's happening right now.
Yeah, it is fucking everywhere.
Gender-affirming care,
we
by
can
the
stay
way,
on all goddamn day.
Gender-affirming care is code for cutting little kids' dicks off, by the way.
It is. Man, we could literally go Alex Jones and stay on for 6 or 7 hours. Delka would love it, I'm sure. But instead, we got the Drinkin' Bro of the week. Shit. Go to drinkinbros.com right now. I just ordered a couple of those Gulf of America shirts, by the way, on there. Big fan of those. The FEMA shirts are selling through the roof as well. And then the jackets, dude. You guys put the jackets down on YouTube here. These satin jackets, the Drinkin' Bros one and the Hard AF Seltzer ones, fucking rock, dude. All of those are available on the site, as well as the Drinkin' Bro of the Week submission form that gets emailed to us live on air. However, if you're in Austin, just come to the studio and get fucked up with us, drink some Hard AF Seltzer all day, and then you come up on stage and just fucking give it yourself. Who do we got here today? Pop on over, sir. Welcome to the program. Saw you over there today, raging. What time did you get here today?
I don't know.
Put that about an inch from your mouth. There you go.
I don't know because my time's messed up from traveling from California. So I'm back.
Did you drive?
No.
Okay.
I flew and then into Weatherford, down here to Austin.
Okay.
So my time zones are messed up right now.
All right. Well, fuck it, dude.
I would have showed up here at 8 in the morning.
We're in Central. Who cares? Who fucking cares? What's your name?
Devin.
And you're from California?
Yeah, Paradise.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Paradise, California?
Yeah, up north.
Yeah. I'm familiar with it.
Yeah.
Are you getting out of there or are you staying?
We're staying. We just bought a house up there.
No shit.
Yeah.
How are the housing prices up there?
The newer houses actually are like $400 to $450 for a decent house. We bought a house that survived the fire, and we have more property, and it was about $320.
All right.
Yeah, so good price.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
I was telling Delco about this. The new builds right now, there's fucking deals, dude, all over. And it's a brand new fucking house.
But they all have shit wrong with them.
I do.
Yeah.
But it's same with any old house, dude. I mean, you remember how long you lived on this show?
9 years.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So, I mean, you know me. I fucking, as soon as we moved to Texas, all the pipes here are all copper.
Yeah.
The once in a nighttime storm, fucking twice nuked out the first floor of my house. And
Aren't you having another one at the end of this month?
Another baby?
No, storm.
Oh, you know what? Somebody said that the other day. Is that true? Can we confirm that, dude?
Yeah.
Are we getting snow at the end of February? Is that real? I heard that, dude, and I was like, man, there's no way.
Once in a lifetime.
Because I took my kids out last night because it gets dark at 5, and I said, hey, my kid he loves this kicker subculture on YouTube. It's wild, and I used to do it, and it's fine. So he's like, hey, will you take me out? I was like, yeah. But we were kicking underneath the lights last night. He had his fucking shirt off because it was 80 degrees.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're in February right now, so I would have a hard time believing that we're going from 80 to snow in like 2 weeks. Is that real?
Yeah, a few days in Texas, I've already gotten every range of being cold and foggy to showing up here, and I was sweating.
Dude, last night it was hot as shit. Even my youngest is a boy. The other girl was sleeping, but he's 6, and even he peeled off his shirt last night. And I was like, it was hot. It was hot as hell last night. So yeah, shocker. Who do you want to give Drinking Bro of the Week to?
I'm going to give it to my lady, actually.
Is she here? Is that her? I'm kidding. I didn't know.
She flew me out here for it's my Christmas present, so I can see him. We grew up together. He moved out here about a year ago, so I got a week.
That's awesome.
And, so the kids are at home. So it's,
For a week?
For a week.
Damn, dude.
It's a trip. It's the first time I've been away without my kids, and they're 10 and 8. I've never had a trip where I've been like gone from the kids for more than like a weekend.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a trip.
I haven't either. It's usually, and I'll try to shorten these trips too. Like all the stuff we go to, everybody's like, oh, hey, man, you're worried about missing your kids. And it's like, no, because we're gone for, like, we'll do it for either 24 hours or 36. And usually we're in and out. Yeah. It's rare that we're gone for like a week. But just because it's too difficult with kids. Plus, you miss them and all that stuff, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. What's her name?
Vanessa. Yep. 2
What
kids.
up, girl?
15 years together. She deals with a lot of my shit.
Yeah.
When we first met, I was bartending, so she had to deal with a lot.
Well,
so
that happens, dude. That happens.
Now she's cool. Still a smoke show and holding shit down.
I think we're all bartenders when we moved to California. Yeah. That's what I did.
I was in Chico at the time, too. So.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Yeesh. Chico State?
I didn't
go
go
to college. Oh,
I'm
no,
an
but I
idiot.
didn't know if you were bartending at the college.
Oh, no. There's a place called The Graduate. Used to have 50 beers on tap.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was super cool for like NFL games and stuff like that. This year I'm going with the Birds.
Are you really?
Yeah.
You got a Raiders fucking hat on.
Yeah, fuck Kansas City.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Props to them, though. They are probably, ever since Brady and Belichick, this is the greatest QB coach we've seen with Reed and Mahomes.
It's a run. It's a run.
It is.
I
hate them, but they're good.
I know.
They're great.
I think they get it. I think they get the third.
I pray to God.
It's not going to be sexy, dude.
It doesn't.
It's never sexy.
No, it's the
They'll
worst.
They'll win by a field goal, and that's what it.
Yeah,
like, that's
it
what
will
it is.
be.
And yeah, we'll all sit there. It'll be some weird call.
Yeah.
Or a 4th and 11.
I
or something will
rewatched that
happen.
holding call at the last of the last Eagles game, and I went, "Fuck, that was holding."
It was.
Yeah.
And I was there. I was in the stadium, and like the angle we had had really good seats too. It wasn't the grab they were showing on TV. It was the first one. And they were like, "Oh man, it's a fucking." I was like, "No, just go back and watch that play."
Yeah,
His
shirt's like 2 feet long when he's holding it,
and it sucks, dude. Where you're just like, man, because you don't want to see a game end like that.
Yeah.
Hopefully Sunday night's game doesn't end like that. Hopefully it's a clean.
I want Barkley to run for 300 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Everybody does. The audience was trying to get me to put 20 grand last night on Barkley for 200. Apparently,
That's a lot.
It would
Against a good
have paid
defense.
off at like fucking 20-1. So it would have been like, you won 200,000, 400,000.
And is that running, not passing included?
Just running.
Just running. That's not going to happen against Kansas City's defense.
I don't think so either. Look, I had a hard time betting the over-under on it, so I didn't take it. I took everybody but Barkley in that. So the over-under for Barkley's yards on Sunday on my bookie was 114. We couldn't find a running back who's rushed for over 100 by himself against the Kansas City defense, so like I didn't take it.
They do have a good O-line, though. Not many O-lines can...
They have a better team, like all the way around.
Yeah.
It's just the Chiefs end up pulling it off.
Yeah.
There's more talent on the Eagles than there is on the Chiefs.
They have these ugly little plays that always get them touchdowns.
I know.
Yeah.
And
they're good at it.
Mahomes will figure it out and dart around and all that.
And Reed is a
shit.
great coach. I hate him.
I know. He's great.
He has probably 3 years left in this world with all those hamburgers, but...
I agree. And he'll coach all 3.
Yep, and he'll win two more Super Bowls with it, too.
Could be 3.
Yeah.
I mean, for real. The way they're
I
playing,
hope
how do you
not.
stop it? I don't know how to stop it. We'll find out on Sunday. Appreciate you being here. Help yourself to some more Hard AF seltzers. Appreciate you guys tuning in at home. Yes, Scare Bear. It's not class. You don't have to raise your hands.
I have, I didn't want to interrupt. You know, I'm a staunch professional, as you know. But I do want to say one thing that, on a serious note, I actually did get Dan an actual birthday gift.
What'd you get him?
It's this Balvenie Caribbean cask 14-year. It's the most expensive scotch I've ever bought in my life.
Yeah, really?
And Dan's probably behind me somewhere looking like he's going to murder me.
Yeah.
But I just want to say thanks to Dan. Happy birthday to him, because if he would not have got me the job here, I would be fucked.
Yeah, and hey, man, look what you've done with it. I mean, you're on fire. That video's on fire. I know we put it at the top of this this feed, so if you rewatch this video on YouTube, the link is up there for the doc, and the doc is on fire right now that you guys have shot. No pun intended, but it is about the LA fires and breaking in and all that stuff. And he does love a good drink like that.
Yeah,
So that was nice.
I did my research.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah,
Bear
I
Bear.
put some effort into it.
Yeah, and as far as you, like, never interrupting, you always interrupt.
Yeah,
Every single time.
All right, cool. Thanks for watching,
No,
guys.
you're good, man. Go to iTunes, rate the show a 5-star, and leave a quick review. Also, head on over to Spotify, just a 5-star, and you can walk away. For Anthony Hollaway, happy birthday. I'm Ross Patterson. This is Drinkin' Bros Fake News. Good night, everyone.